I welcome you guys back into a nice beautiful life coaching video, and I apologize for the past few days. I understand that what's been happening around my life is I came to Port Stephens, and over here there's a poor, let's say, Wi-Fi signal, but I'm never poor. But I realize that what's amazing is there's always a Wi-Fi signal around that I can go and grab, but it's just that kind of circumstance where I can afford anything, but it's just I understand I have to get myself to a better place so that I can upload all these videos, because I understand that sometimes that around you may get, let's say, a signal where Wi-Fi connection or something like that may be poor for you. So understand that either way, that nothing's poor for me, because I eventually go to a better place where there's some Wi-Fi around. And either way, that what I'm learning around my life right now is that when I go traveling somewhere where there's a poor connection signal, or let's say something in terms of life where I have much more than yesterday, or is that what's important is just realize that you never judge anything around what's poor or what's rich, but understand that you just go and enjoy your life. And now what I'm learning every single day is that I focus upon my ability to be richer in my words and to understand how to use my vocabulary better throughout life, because I understand that what's amazing is realize that I'm somebody who is rich and I'm somebody who is much better than yesterday. So I focus upon understanding on how to talk better. So I understand that either way, that when I say that it's poor signal or poor Wi-Fi or whatever, you must understand that it's really, that is poor communication skills. That is all poor communicational skills. So never say that it's poor connection skills or poor Wi-Fi. I mean, get yourself to a better place and just say to continue on and live your life in a different way, because otherwise you look like a victim of some type of outside circumstance. So I'm projecting to you to understand that I have to learn myself how to talk better, because we all have to learn much better every single day. But understand there are two types of people. I mean, now the first individual works for plastic money and the second individual works for freedom. In a sense, so every single day, focus upon understanding which type of work do you need. And now you have to understand that what's amazing, or as in now, you have to understand that what's amazing is focus on your ability to work for free, because that's what Jesus Christ does. I mean, you understand? And now Jesus Christ's way is the best way. And now either way, that when you're following Jesus Christ, you understand who I am. Alright, now focus upon understanding that when you're traveling around the world, you need to be going around areas very quickly. So focus upon getting an Uber driver today, and focus upon understanding to ask the Uber driver and say, do you offer service where you can give him a call or give them a call whenever possible, so that you can go traveling around and see all the beaches and all the areas and all the mountains, and so that they can be a tour guide as well around that nice beautiful area. Because I understand that now I'm in Port Stephens right now, and that's near Newcastle, which is just 2 hours away from Sydney, Australia. So it's about 2.5 hours away from Sydney, Australia. So it's just up the coast of Newcastle. So as you see Sydney, I realize that Newcastle's on the way to Brisbane, and then Port Stephens is right next to, let's say, Newcastle, for about 30 kilometers away. Whereas although I've been here for now 3 days, and now since I've been here, I understand that I'm learning so much about the world around me. I'm learning about being away from internet and being away from Twitter and social media and YouTube. I have been reading, I've been reading just a bit in terms of YouTube videos and all that, but I'm staying away from it as much as possible at the moment, because I'm focusing on something else right now. I'm focusing on getting myself into a better place spiritually and mentally and emotionally. And I'm just, let's say, I'm resorting in a way to go offline. I'm going offline so that I can go and write more, and so I can go and do some life coaching more, and so that I can go and do traveling more around Port Stephens, and so that I can also do some music production along the way, because my job offline is something to do with helping myself grow. And now I'm always able to help myself grow. You have to understand that. I never need internet to help myself grow. I mean, in a sense, so if I like to do anything in life, I need some internet today to be able to upload this video, for example. But it's only temporary, that you understand that every single day I can work with or without internet. I mean, you understand? So what I can do with these videos is I can post it on I can put it in my laptop. And my laptop has 256 gigabytes, for example. But eventually I need to have internet eventually, so that I can go and upload all this content online to help you. I mean, in a sense, so everything that I make in terms of these videos is never for nothing, but I want to put it up on YouTube so I can help you. You understand? So I need some Wi-Fi. So every single day, I understand that for a week or maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I can withhold and I can go without internet. I mean, you understand? But then on the 4th week and 5th week and 6th week, I get desperate. I mean, I get desperate. I get desperate to get some internet. I mean, I have to go to a hotel sometimes to get some free Wi-Fi or something. I have to get the free Wi-Fi. You know, I go for the free Wi-Fi because it's the way to have much more in everything. You know, so every single day, focus upon understanding that if you want to have a great mentality and you want to go and really, really exhaust yourself into growth, you have to. You have to exhaust yourself into growth, because it's better to exhaust yourself into growth than to exhaust yourself into dying. I mean, in a sense, every single day, focus upon understanding that you have a life, and your life is to be living much greater. So when you're living much greater, focus upon sometimes understanding that if you live in a 4-bedroom dorm or a 3-bedroom dorm or a 2-bedroom dorm or a 1-bedroom dorm or 10-bedroom dorms or whatever bedroom dorms you live in, I mean, if you have a table and chairs outside, I mean, bring it inside if you're alone in the room. I mean, understand? So if you're living in a 10-bedroom dorm, but you have no tables and chairs in there, I mean, guess what? I mean, go and grab yourself some table chairs somewhere and understand you're alone. So you can do it. And then understand that if somebody comes into your nice, beautiful hostel or motel or hotel, you have some nice, beautiful vocabulary to be able to stand up and take away the table and the chairs and put them outside so that people can walk around in the hostel or around you. I mean, in a sense, so realize that when you do that, you can then do this nice, beautiful video like this when there's nobody around you. I mean, you understand? Because I just went and grabbed myself some tables and some chairs around here, and I've come inside of my nice, beautiful accommodation where there's just I today. And guess what? I realized that I choose it like that. I mean, I said I choose to go living with other people so that I can understand the world around me much better, and so I can see how people live, because you have to do that. You have to eventually go around people and you have to be living with them anyway. So focus upon understanding that when you're really, really living life to the fullest, you're looking for ways to improve, you're looking for ways to grow, and just make sure you understand that you have to live with other people sometimes so that you can understand how to appreciate what you do have. I mean, you understand? So understand that throughout life, you're going to be somebody who's probably going to work the middle class as well, and who's going to be in the poverty range, and who is going to be in the rich range, and who's going to be the billionaire as well. So guess what? I realize that there are so many areas of life. We must understand that it really, really resolves around poverty, and then middle class, and then the rich. I mean, understand? I want you to be in the rich class. I want you to understand that right now, I'm always rich. And why am I always rich? Because I work for free. I give you this nice, beautiful content for free. I understand that it's work for free, and I do it for Jesus Christ in terms of the information of the Bible, and I believe in that. And now when Jesus Christ says in the Bible that Jesus Christ rose 3 days later, I believe that. You know, I believe that this life is something that we can overcome. You understand? Because when you die and then raise 3 days later and the angels show up in front of people, I believe that. You know, I mean, do you understand? I just like to believe in that, because that's something that holds me together. Because I rather believe in that than believe in something that is never Jesus Christ. I mean, understand? Because something that Jesus Christ teaches me a whole bunch of information, and now when something teaches me a whole bunch of information, I believe it. I believe it totally, because that's full of ideas and it's full of wisdom. And now I've been reading 5 years without Jesus Christ. I mean, understand? I've been reading here and there, but I understand that Jesus Christ may pop up into a book somewhere, and I understand in the way that I start to dwell, and I start to be much more interesting, and I start to be much more curious about everything. But then understand that the information that I read daily helps me. I mean, in a sense, so somebody may give me an idea, I pick up the idea, I apply it. I mean, in a sense, I pick up the idea, I apply it. I read again for 1 hour, I pick up 2 ideas, I apply it right away. And I just keep building upon those skills, and then eventually I'll become a life coach. I mean, in a sense, and then because I apply so much information, I can now teach you that kind of information for myself. Because it's for myself, I do it for my I only. Whereas that's why I grow, because I do it for the word I. And now understand that when you're doing it for somebody else other than you, you're then starting to neglect yourself. So make sure you're every single day learning to love yourself and learning to be the best you can be every single day. But understand that what's amazing is now that for the past 3 days, I've been lacking to do these videos. So today I have to do a 3-hour video. I mean, so I give you that nice, beautiful pronunciation right now. That's 10 minutes into this video. And understand either way that you must understand I have to grow. And now when I grow, I love to do my life coaching videos because it's something that helps me grow daily. I mean, it's something that helps me to blossom, and it's something to help me plan my life out, because I understand I can be planning my life out inside of a video like this much faster than anything in the world, because it's so much better for me to be on a video daily than to do anything else. I mean, so it's just that kind of vibe where you can go and speak on a video all day long, and then you can plan your life ahead of yourself really fast and really effectively. And also Tony Robbins agrees with this, but I agree with it also because it's something that really helps me to type really fast on the actual video. And I give you the audio really quickly, but then I understand that when I go and really coach people on a video like this, I promise you I learn really quickly about scenarios and tactics, and I give you those ideas quickly, and then what happens is you pick up the information and you pass it on. I mean, in a sense, so it's like Chinese whispers, or it's like Chinese whispers, but in this Chinese whispers, I'm giving you ideas, and there's no lies about that. And guess what? You're going to pick up the ideas and you're going to throw it to somebody else. But in these Chinese whispers, actually everybody is benefiting. I understand? I realize that either way, I understand that many people play Chinese whispers like this. Or as I say something, but it ends up being something different. And now guess what? Or as that's the whole point, isn't it? Or as the whole point of life is make it different. I understand? So it's never a lie, but I understand that what's amazing is nothing ever stays the same. I understand? So Chinese whispers is a game where you may say something in terms of a sentence to somebody, but guess what? Or as it ends up different. I mean, why does it end up different? Because what happens is people misjudge and misinterpret everything, but then what happens is I realize it goes into a better direction because you're never meant to do anything the same other than different. You must be doing it differently all the time. And now when you're doing it differently, you must do it the same but differently. I mean, understand? So what's amazing every single day is focus upon understanding that when you're doing something around the world and you're traveling, I mean, make sure you're always giving those ideas really quickly. You're going to notice that ideas are flying at you really quickly. So today, I have 3 good ideas to give you. I've already gave you those ideas within 12 minutes. But now I have to go and find those other ideas about life, and I have to give you those ideas. But I have to move on really quickly. You understand? But those 3 ideas that I wanted to give you before, I gave you those ideas, but it feels like it's a lot of information, but it's just 3 sentences that I want to give you. I mean, in a sense, what I do, I get my journal and I write it down really quickly, so I never have to think about it anymore. I mean, in a sense, I write it down because in my journal, I upload one every day so that you can go and watch it, and so that you can go and read my journal, because that's where that's where extra information comes from the day, where I never want to forget teaching you. So then I just go and write in the journal, and then I upload it online, and then you can find it. I mean, understand? Because by the time I do my videos, or it may be 6 hours later until I do this video. I mean, maybe 6 hours later until I do this video. But guess what? I make sure to write it down now so that I understand to help you right now rather than 6 hours later. I mean, understand? So what's amazing is that's why I have a journal, and then that's why I'm always writing in my journal. And now, for example, from 12 o'clock at night in terms of in the morning, and until 7 o'clock at night in terms of in the morning, I mean, guess what happens? I'm writing in my journal something. I'm doing some music production. I'm making sure every single day I'm prospering and doing something that I love to do. And now understand that if people are going to the 9-to-5 job today, you must understand that you can prosper, you can succeed. But understand that what's going to happen at the 9-to-5 job is the job is unstable. And understand that. Of course, you have to understand that every single day you go to a 9-to-5 job, that it's going to be unstable for you. Because you want to travel, yeah? You want to be able to go somewhere. But guess what? Or else they want you to never travel. Or is that people in the 9-to-5 job never want you to travel. So what do? You have to save up some money for a bit, and then guess what? You just say, I have to go overseas because I have to go see somebody, and whatever. Or I'll just say they're very sick, and guess what? I have to go. You understand? But guess what happens? I mean, you're just going to be free. You understand? You're going to be free. You're going to go somewhere better. I mean, understand? Because what happens is, you may save up 100 grand, but then go and travel for 5 years instead of doing 9-to-5 job. Understand? And then guess what? I mean, after 5 years, you're going to be seeing half the world there. You're going to see half the world, and then go 9-to-5 job again and make another 100 grand, and then go again for 5 years. You understand? So what's amazing is understand 5 years. You understand? I mean, never go 2 weeks of the year. I mean, go in 5-year blocks somewhere and never come back. I mean, never come back. I mean, understand? So what's amazing is understand that nobody else is going to follow you. I'm not going to follow you, but understand that what's amazing is you're never going to follow me. But what's amazing is you're going to follow my information because I'll follow your information. You understand? But understand, physically, I want you to go around the world on your own because I have business to do somewhere else. You understand? I mean, I never want to hold your hand and take you around Australia while holding your hand. You know what I'm saying? I mean, go physically somewhere by yourself and realize that people are not going to come with you. I mean, be a man. I mean, be a woman about that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, go and really man up and woman up everybody and make sure you're lifting people, but understand that people from the past are never coming with me anywhere. Guess what? Or else they have 9 to 5 jobs, or else they have kids, or else they have other business to do other than I today. So guess what? I mean, I have a business as well. So I make sure every single day that you understand what my business is, and my business is you, whereas my business is helping you every single day. And now when I help you every single day, I help myself even more. And now when I give you information on how to help you, I'm helping myself to plan how to do that. And now when I plan how to help you, I then plan how to help I. Understand? I mean, the more I help you, the more I help myself, because that's how it is in life. Whereas now I help the word I. And now everybody's the word I. I mean, who do I help now? I help I. Understand? So every single day, focus upon understanding that when I really, really grow myself really quickly, I understand 3 hours is a lot of time to be talking. You understand? I mean, guess what? Whereas 1 minute is a lot of time. I mean, 1 second is a lot of time. In a sense, so I never want to waste a second. I never want to waste a dime. I never want to waste anybody's time in this video. So I want to give you the most value for your dollar. And now your dollar to me is your time and your attention and everything you have in life. You understand? Whereas now you're much more than a dollar. You must understand every single day, focus upon understanding that nobody who is giving you free information is screwing you over. You understand? I promise you, I'm never asking for money in return from you. I'm never asking for you to give me plastic money. I mean, you understand? I have plastic money. I'd rather do something much more different to understand that every single day that I'm somebody prosperous and I'm somebody abundant because I'm doing something for free at least. Because those people who are doing the 9 to 5 job are just doing the 9 to 5 job and they're working for money and they're never working for free. You know, or else they're never working for free because they're working for money and they believe that money is the solution and they believe that money is the way to freedom, because money is never the way to freedom. But what is the way to freedom is helping people like this on YouTube and social media today and helping them for free so that you understand to become popular first. And now when you become popular, or else that popularity and high attention is much better than plastic money, because I'd rather have 1 billion followers than $1 billion. You understand? I'm pretty sure that it's much better to have 1 billion followers than $1 billion in your pocket. You understand? So realize that it's much more about popularity today and high attention and being famous and speaking up and being a communicator like I am today in terms of these words, and working as an entrepreneur every single day to focus on your life and to focus on traveling with yourself as much as you can. So go as much as you can. Take weekends off. Take days off from the 9 to 5. Just go somewhere, you understand? Because it's going to help you to discover something, and it's going to help you discover yourself. And now understand that when you discover yourself every single day, you're going to be someone who knows the word I, and then you're going to understand how powerful you are. Nothing can stop you. Nothing's going to stop your fame. Nothing's going to stop you from loving Jesus Christ and everybody. Understand? So many women from the past and people from the past they get the wrong idea about me. They get the right idea too about me. And now they're very right people, or else they're all right about me, and they're all wrong about me too. Now guess what? Or else that because they're wrong and right, you must understand I'm never wrong and right about anything. They're just wrong-minded people. They're just wrong-minded, and now they're also right-minded. And now people who are right and left-minded, I understand that either way. You must understand that people who have the idea that they are right or wrong about something are either people who, you have to understand, that are lacking confidence about everything and they get jealous. You must understand, I'm never right about anything. I'm never wrong about anything, but they're right. I'm never right. I'm never right. I'm never correct about anything. You understand? They're always correct. They're so correct that they'll argue with you for 50,000 billion years and be negative upon what you're saying because they're so correct. I'm never correct. I want to learn from you. If you have a better idea than me, come and give it to me. I never want to argue with you. I want to listen to you. Whereas if you're going to teach me better than I am, then I want to hear you out. I want to hear your ideas, but I never want to argue with you about who's correct and who's wrong or who's right. I want to make sure that you understand I'm here to grow with you. I'm here to give you ideas upon other perspectives. If you believe you're so correct, I want to understand other aspects of life that you can teach me, because when you're so correct, you never teach me anything about yourself. When you're so correct about your life and everything that you have to teach me something about your life. You have to understand that being correct never teaches me anything. You have to understand it's more about whereas it's never about sympathy, or else it's more about empathy and understanding that it's about adding value, and it's about never being correct, but understanding to learn from everybody. And now when you're so correct about everything, you'll never learn from me, because you're already correct about everything. Whereas if you're correct about everything, I mean, you have to understand that you'll never learn about me, you'll never learn about anything, because you say, you are this, and you are this, and you are this. I understand? Because, and then I'll say, I'm not what you say I am, but then you'll say, you're a liar, because I say that this is that, because I am correct. I mean, and now when you say that, I'll say, that you may be correct. I'm not correct about you, but I understand that what's amazing is I follow a better path, because I understand I never need to be correct. And then either way, that is how I talk to people. You understand? So realize every single day that when you focus upon communicational skills and leading yourself into victory, you have to understand it's more about free work, and what free work are you doing today in the world, rather than how much plastic money do you want to make. You understand? Because real estate game is a plastic money game. You understand? Because I understand that what's the best game in life is the Jesus game, and it's a Jesus Christ game, where you understand that you talk about your story like Jesus Christ talks about Jesus Christ's story, and then you write a book about Jesus Christ, and you write a book about yourself. You have to understand, you write a book about everything. You understand? But what's amazing is Jesus Christ writes a book about Jesus Christ and places it as the Bible of God. And now place your own Bible of God in life. I mean, go and make your own book. I mean, make your own chapter. I mean, make your own freedom from that book that you have right now, which is your experience. And since so Jesus Christ is documenting his life the whole way through, you must understand, and has 12 disciples and leaders and followers in his life. And he has the most followers back then. You have to understand that he's the most popular, or he's the most richest. So you have to also have your own 12 disciples today who are following you. Yes, and you have to have people following you today. You have to have people writing about you today. You have to have a great legacy. You understand? You have to also be doing the content. You have to be leading people in a different way. But now, the more communication you do with people, the better for you. And the more you go and engage people online today, the better for you. So what you need to do daily is understand that you just focus on yourself the most you can and do your life. I mean, do you much more than anything else. So when you realize that if you're doing all you can to succeed, why don't you just keep going? I mean, forget everything else. I mean, forget what they have. I mean, forget the $1 billion they have in plastic money. I mean, if you're better than yesterday, I mean, that's everything for you. Understand? I mean, guess what? Or is that I'm better than yesterday? But guess what? I mean, do I have $1 billion in plastic money? I mean, yeah, I have it as I'm better than yesterday. Or now, is $1 billion in plastic money in my pocket right now? I promise you, $1 billion is in my bank account right now in terms of plastic money. I understand. And why is that? Because I keep an open field of vibration about that. I actually tell you that it is. I promise you, that's what is, because I believe in that. I believe that I'm so great in this lifetime. You understand? I believe that any type of money that you are asking from me, I have it already. You understand? I already have it because it's in my words. You understand? Because when I say I'm a billionaire and I have $1 billion in my plastic money in terms of and I have it in my bank account, I mean, I say it, I promise you it be there. I promise you it's going to come. I promise you it's already here. You understand? Because I say it. I mean, I sense so every single day that if you believe somebody out there has more than you, or that's because you're lacking. You have to understand you're never lacking anything. So make sure that you understand that you have to be much more open-minded in your life. You have to be an open mind, and anything that's an open mind is a curious mind. So when you're curious, you're confident, and when you're confident, you love to connect. And then when you love to connect, you love yourself first. And then when you love yourself first, you understand how to do some videos for yourself and get on the camera. You have to get on the camera. You have to understand to get on the audio. You have to get writing materials, and you have to start writing. And now I challenge myself with music production too. You have to understand music production. I have 2 talents. I have many talents. I have more than 2 talents. I love comedy. I love acting. I love singing. I love music production. I love fitness. I love veganism. I love sobriety. I love Jesus Christ. I love spirituality. I love confidence. I love sales and marketing and reading. I love all these aspects of life. I love traveling too. Or as it's all my passions. Or as I love non-human animals. I wish I can have a non-human animal with me everywhere. But guess what? I have a better time to do that. You understand? I realize there's a better time for me to be able to have animals in terms of my life. But right now, I want to be traveling. I want to be understanding that a dog is too heavy for me to lift around, you understand? Or it's too much for me to carry around. So what I do is I just carry the word I around, and that's it. Every single day I focus upon understanding that when I go shopping, I want to shop for one aspect of life at a time and never have to stock up 4 or 5 times or 6 months ahead of time to have 6 months of food in my fridge. I mean, understand? I want to have 1 day. I want to have 1 day of food only. So I go to a shopping center every single day Because I promise you, as soon as you start getting 4 lots of food and you start getting 10 lots of food everywhere because of something that you want to save money or something like that, it means that you have to do better. Understand? I mean, never be stocking up on 4 kilos of food when you only need 200 grams. You understand? I mean, in a sense, so when you realize that, or is that because people go around and they shop for 2 weeks, or as they go to shopping and they go shopping once a week, I mean, they go shopping once a fortnight, and some people even shop once a month. I mean, other people other people go to the shops every 6 months. I mean, other people every 1 year, they may go visit the shopping center. I mean, and why is that? Because they get 1 year worth of food and drink. I mean, how do you do that in life? I mean, why do you plan to stay where you are for 1 year? You understand? I mean, that's heavy weight lifting. You understand? So what you do is you plan only to shop for 1 day. You understand? I mean, keep everything to the 1 day. You have to understand everything is one step at a time. You have to understand that every single day you must focus upon 1 year at a time. You must focus on 1 decade at a time. You must understand 1 fortnight at a time. I mean, 1 week at a time. But guess what? I mean, 1 day is better than 1 week. You understand? I mean, focus on now on what kind of food do you need now and what kind of drink do you need now, and you never ever go shopping for 1 year at a time. You understand? You never get 1 year of clothing already ready for you. You understand? Because that's just a waste of money. You understand? I mean, are you going to wear all that? Are you going to eat all that? I mean, you have to understand that what's amazing is go and get yourself food and drink that you are going to eat today, and that's it. You understand? I mean, no matter what, I mean, there's no excuses. So if something happens where you have to save some plastic money, you have to understand that what's amazing is make sure that plastic money is working for you and that you're never working for that plastic money. You understand? Because guess what? Or as if you're going to a 9 to 5 job, you have to understand that you can go to a 9 to 5 job. But guess what? I mean, work 24/7 and never ever at the 9 to 5 job. You understand? I work 24/7. So after a 9 to 5 job, guess what I do? Or as I come here and I do my nice beautiful video. And then guess what I do? I start doing some journaling as well after a 9 to 5 job. And then I also tend to family as well. And then I go and do some music production, and I'll do some comedy work, and I'll do some acting. I'll do some uploading as well. I'll do some Netflix. And then guess what? Or as I do some showering, I'll do some eating and grooming, and I eat and drink. I mean, guess what? Or as that's my day. You understand? Well, that's my day, and then guess what? I'll repeat the day every single day. But guess what I'm doing after a 9 to 5 job? I mean, I'm making sure that I'm working on my passions. I'm working on my YouTube account. I'm working on my Instagram. I'm working on other aspects of life that it's more than a 9 to 5 job. And now what's after a 9 to 5 job is your true work. I understand? But what's in the 9 to 5 job is something that you have to do for free and never for the plastic money. Understand? And now forget the plastic money in a 9 to 5 job. You have to understand that plastic money is never the result. It's never, it's something that scams you. I mean, you have to understand that when people go into the 9 to 5 job and working for that plastic money, or as that plastic money is dropping down in value right now, and now you may be worth $200 today, but in 4 years' time, I realize in 4 years' time, it's worth 180. And then in 4 years' time again, it's worth 150. You understand? You're working for the same amount of money, but it's dropping down in value. And why is that? Because everything's going into the crypto stock market. And now you must understand that cryptocurrency today is a new deal, and that's why the currency of the banks and printing money is such a big problem today, because you have to understand that they are screwing people over with that. But then what's happening now is they're trying to screw people over with the cryptocurrency today. And now it's going to be the same system, but it's just going to be ruling people into cryptocurrency. And it's going to be no more printing of money, but it's going to be the same rules apply. And then guess what? Or is people going to just swap over to cryptocurrency? You understand? So every single day focus upon understanding that it's also never work for cryptocurrency. I understand? Because cryptocurrency is never even real. I mean, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You have to understand that you have to work for Jesus Christ. You have to work for something for free, and something that's much better than a 9 to 5 job. Because I have no 9 to 5 job. I mean, understand? I work 24/7. I never believe in a 9 to 5 job. So if I go to a 9 to 5 job today, I never consider that a 9 to 5 job. You understand? I consider that just me helping somebody for free. I understand? I'm doing it for free. I'm just arriving at the 9 to 5 job to work for free, to be around people, to lead people in that organization, and that's it. I mean, as soon as I can make more enough of my life in that, I make sure I leave the place totally. You understand? Because I never want to be stuck in that place. I never want to be stuck in those people. I never want to be stuck with those people. You understand? I want to be making sure I travel the world rather than be with that hospital, or rather than be with that fire brigade or police officer or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I never want to be any of that. You know what I'm saying? I want to be I'm just the word I. So every single day, focus upon understanding that your life is never 40 years. Your life is never 40 years in the 9 to 5 job. You understand? I hope that your life is 40 years in the making and live more than that. But understand either way, you must understand that you're going to grow younger over time. But understand that nutrition is how you grow younger. And what's in nutrition? I realized the information of nutrition is how I did lose 47 kilos. And it's how I really coach myself to really start to also always to check those nice beautiful labels and what's on the products of everything I get still, because I'm still vegan and I eat better than the whole world. You have to understand, I eat better than everybody and I'm still learning about nutrition. I'm still learning about information around everything. So that's why I'm healthier than yesterday. I realized, look at my skin. Is my skin healthy or is it poor? It's healthy skin. Is this my best version or is this my worst version? This is my best version in life. So is that everything? That's everything. So no matter how much money you have, man. If you're $1 billion man, or if you have $1 billion or whatever you are. If you have $1 billion in passive money, I'm better than yesterday. What else do you want, man? Understand? When you have a wife and kids and you're better than yesterday and you have $1 billion, I'm better than yesterday too. I'm better. I have everything right here. What? There's nothing you can say about me. You can have 50 billion women and I just have myself and I'm still better than yesterday and I still have more than you. I still have more than you. You can never ever try to manipulate me here. You could say you have 50 million wives more than me, but I'm still better than yesterday. What do you want to do? What are you on about, man? You understand? Whereas when one guy has 1 billion women and one guy has no woman, but he's better than yesterday, whereas now they're equal. Everybody's equal. You understand? Just because you have 50 billion women and you're a man and you're better than yesterday, does it make you better than Jesus Christ, who has no woman in terms of life and who has no sex with other people, and you believe you're too good for Jesus Christ because you have sex with 50 billion people? Guess what? Whereas you're never ever better than Jesus Christ, because Jesus Christ is much better than yesterday. Do you get me? Do you understand? If you have a kid today and I have no kid, I have Jesus Christ, I have I, and I is everything, but guess what? I have everything, you understand? I already have it. I never need a kid in my life. I never need a wife. I'm better than yesterday. You get it? I have no shame. Does Jesus Christ have a wife? Does he go and get married with other people? What? What's the shame over here? Or I have no shame about who I am, you understand? Whereas now, why is a drug addict with a woman today and myself? Where's the woman around me? A drug addict has a woman. I'm better than yesterday, or that guy's worse than yesterday and he has a woman. How about me? I deserve a woman too. I'm better than yesterday, or that guy's worse than yesterday. So do I have to go worse than yesterday to get a woman? No. I'm better than yesterday. You understand? I never want to chase a woman. You understand? Whereas now, guess what? Whereas every single day, I never chase a woman, but that drug addicts chase women. Or as they chase it. You understand? I never chase them anymore. You understand? I was a drug addict before, and guess what? Now, I have so much confidence, I never need a woman in this lifetime. I never need them in my life, you understand? Because they never satisfy me, or as they never make me happy. Or as nobody makes me happy in this life except I. Or as nobody else can give me anything in this life except I. I have everything. I've been given everything in this life. I just have to go and pull it out forward for myself, and I have to grow. I understand I'm a spiritual man. I understand either way. I understand that when you're really growing, you're going to understand life will pass you by. But guess what? Go and just be better than yesterday while it happens. You understand? So every single day, focus upon communicational skills and leading people with different audio techniques, and understand every single day that now I have a nice beautiful selfie stick, I have a nice beautiful way of doing my videos, and I have a nice beautiful elastic band which is holding my nice beautiful microphone just at the top. So I understand either way that my beautiful heritage with my family is half Croatian and half Serbian. I'm born in Australia. I'm born near Newtown in Sydney, Australia, where it's the St. Alfred Prince Hospital, where it's Camperdown. Or as either way, I understand that what's amazing is understand that my grandfather from my biological dad's side is a farmer, and then from my biological dad's side, he is a individual who is my grandfather, although he is a farmer and also carpenter. And then my biological dad is a singer and farmer and also carpenter. But then here I am, I'm a life coach and singer as well. I'm just a life coach and singer. I'm not a farmer. I never farm anything. because I understand either way I never need to do that job anymore. Whereas I understand that what's amazing, I never need to do carpenting, but I do some carpenting here and there just for fun to fix something. I mean, you understand? Because I love to fix something, just like my biological dad, you understand? Or as my biological dad goes to fix something, or else he gets a hat that's torn, or else he may sew it, for example. I mean, do you understand? So I like to experiment. I mean, what? I mean, you believe you're rich, man? I mean, you say you just get a new hat, man. I mean, yeah. I mean, guess what? Or as if this hat over here, that is my trademark, or as this is my trademark hat. I mean, if you put a hole in it, I'll stitch it up together because I wear this hat forever. You understand? I wear this hat forever. You rich, man? You believe you're rich in life? I respect this hat so much that it looks good on me. You understand? So guess what? I realize every single day, you must understand everything I have in life, I try to fix it. You understand? I try to solve the problem, because why do you want to give some money when you can fix it? You understand? Or now, guess what? Or now, you must understand that if you can fix something, I mean, why don't you fix it? I mean, guess what? Or every time, I mean, you have to fix some problems today. I mean, would you rather fix some problems today or give some money? What do you want to do in life? You have to fix the problems. I mean, when you fix the problems, you'll find how to give that. You understand? I mean, every single day, focus upon understanding that it's more about understanding how to sew. Whereas if you have a hole in this, I mean, go and learn how to sew. I mean, go and learn how to sew. You have to understand. I have to learn how to really tie my beard. You understand? I have to learn. That. I still have to learn. Whereas when somebody else understands how to do something, I want to understand that. I want to teach myself. I have to teach myself how to do that. And so I have to teach myself how to go and wrap all this nice beautiful hair around. So every single day, you must understand I have to teach myself everything. I understand either way that what's amazing is, rather than you having to, let's say, go around traveling around places alone, I mean, hire somebody to go with you. You understand? Approaching now, get some Uber drivers to go with you. Approaching, that's it. Today at Port Stephens, I seen 20 beaches. I seen 20 beaches in less than 5 hours. I mean, isn't that beautiful? I mean, 3 lookouts. I mean, such big, amazing grace. I went to Anna Bay. I went to Gary Lookout, or I went to Barry Lookout over there, and also went to the nice, beautiful way of saying, which is the Figgle Bay. I went to the nice, beautiful Nelson Bay as well. Or is that there's all these bays around the nice, beautiful Nelson Bay area and Port Stephens over here, and there's also Zenith Bay as well. So there's all these massive beaches, and there's all these small beaches as well, like Soldier Point and Corlette Beach as well. So I'm looking at all these perspectives around these beaches, but there's around 20 beaches I've seen today, but 3 lookouts I see amazing. I went to the sand dunes over there in the Ann Bay. You have to come to the Newcastle area as well, so check it out. I mean, every single day, focus upon understanding that in less than 5 hours, I've seen 20 beaches. I understand? I mean, 5 hours. I mean, where did we go? I gave the guy $450. I understand? I gave him $450. Understand? I mean, either way, he asks, now, guess what? I mean, here's a nice tip for you. I mean, guess what? Before I even give the Uber driver some money, I pull out $500. And I plan to give him $500. You know what I'm saying? But then guess what happens? I say, hey, I want to ask him first how much he wants. I want to ask him how much he wants first. And then he says he wants $400. Or else he says he wants 400 only. But I just saved $500. I just saved $100 for that. Because I just asked him, how much do you want? So then he says 400. But I was going to give him 500. You understand? So guess what? I gave him some money. You understand? And then guess what? Or as he returns me $50 and he says, you gave me too much over here, and he's holding $200 in his hand. I have to give him 400. Or as I say here, I mean, here's the 300 and here's the 400 and here's an extra $50 because you are returning me the $50 over here. And guess what? Or as what's amazing is understand that I gave him too much. But guess what? Or as sometimes you have to give him too much. You understand? You have to give them too much sometimes. And guess what? Or is that when they are so honest to never steal your money, and they just say, hey, you gave me too much over here, or as a 50 note was stuck into a 50 note, and I gave him 100 instead of 50. I mean, he can lie over here, or else he can be a deceitful person over here, and he can just steal the $50 from me. You understand? And guess what? Or is that he just returns, or is he's honest about it, or as he says, you gave me too much over here, or as I look at the $50, I say thank you, man. Say thank you. I say thank you. or else either way, I'll say you're an honest man for returning this $50 because I understand that the $50 was stuck to a 50, and I gave him 100 instead of 50. And guess what? Or is he saying that he's honest over here? So I just say, hey, I'll give you a tip. I mean, here's the $50 that you just gave me. You understand? So, I mean, that's the kind gesture you need to give, because understand that when you're around honest people, I mean, give them a tip. I mean, understand? I mean, give them some money extra. I mean, understand? Because that's a nice attitude. I mean, that's a beautiful attitude. So where honest people are, I mean, abundance goes. You understand? I'd rather give money to an honest individual than somebody who's deceitful. You understand? I promise you. Now, every single day, it's much more blessing. I promise you, it's a blessing to give people everything. You understand? So everything. I mean, every single day, I'd rather be around honest people than around negative people who are deceitful. Or else I'd rather be around people who never ever want to grab my woman or my spouse. I understand, rather than being around people who just want to grab my spouse away from me. I understand. So I never want to be around people who are negative and who have a poor image of life. So understand that. So that's why I give him $50 extra, because he returns me $50 that I was misplacing in a way that I never was aware that I gave him. And but guess what? I realized that he obviously is honest. And guess what? I realized that because I did give him, I realized if he cheats me out, I just give him anyway. You understand? Or it's just abundance to give him, but he wants to give it back. But then I choose to give it to him again. You understand? I choose to give it to him this time. I'm aware that I gave it to him. You understand? Because I understand that he's never deceitful, or he never wants to deceive me. So I just give him the money, because I understand that money comes and goes. You understand? But what's amazing about that situation is never try to hold it back. Or if somebody's honest and you want to give, you give right away. You understand? So realize that you only give what you can afford. You understand? So understand that what's amazing is if you have $1 billion in plastic money, and then you go to a poor individual and you give them $1 billion in plastic money, and then you have $0 in plastic money, or as now you gave them too much, or as it's a blessing, but now you have to find another $1 billion in plastic money, because that individual may give you $200,000 back in plastic money, but everything else they may keep for themselves now, because you gave it to them. I mean, you can never take it back. You understand? I mean, never try to take back what you give. You understand? I mean, there's no refunds. But guess what? Or is that this Uber driver says, hey, I mean, I'm just driving somebody around, so I mean, do you mind going with me somewhere so that this individual can get to their point of view, so that you can also go to your point of view? I say, yeah. I say, no worries. But then I just go to a detour, you understand, because he has to pick up somebody. And what happens is that he gives me $20, or he gives me $20 for that nice, beautiful, let's say, trip that I did with him. I gave him $50, but he gives me $20 in return. Alright, now this is the same Uber driver, you understand? And now what happens is, I gave him $50, but then he's returning $20 to me. I mean, why? I mean, guess what? Or because I sat in the car with him to drive somewhere, you understand? And what happens over here is we all win over here. Or else he's just giving from his heart to go and drive someone and me for free, so that he can give me some money in return. You understand? But that's a blessing when you give me, or when I give you $50 and you give me 20. You understand? I mean, it's a blessing. I mean, you're still giving something, but understand that now, since I understand that you're still 30 plus, you're still going to understand you're going to live 30 years longer, because that's a difference. You understand? So every single day, you must understand that you must always have a difference in your life. You must be giving a difference. You must be always caring. You must be caring for everybody. Whereas now when you care, you'll physically help people when you are somebody who understands that they are asking you only. So, for example, let's say in a nice beautiful Newcastle, or else that sometimes they want to upsell you. Or as what this means is, let's say you have to make a booking late, and it's something that is really helping you, where you're delaying the accommodation, but you have to book another night because you have to go somewhere, but you want to have insurance to stay at this place in case anything happens. But then what happens is they say, hey, I mean, you have to understand that sometimes they can upsell you, and they can say, hey, we only have this room, but or else it's $10,000 for a night. Or it's $10,000. I realize it's $10,000 for the night. You have to be able to give them $10,000 for one night. I mean, understand? I mean, let's just say that you have $20,000. I mean, you have to understand that it's worth it. I mean, understand? I mean, it's worth it. Or else if you have $20,000 and somebody wants to upsell you here, but you understand that you just gave prior to that, you gave information. You gave so much information to something of your business that you are profiting, and you understand that you're going to book there again. You understand that? But then what happens is you don't know, or as you never really understand how much it's going to be. But you understand it's worth it. You understand? But then what happens is you get there and you have 20,000 bucks on you, but the guy says we only have one room available and it's 10,000 bucks for one night, but you have 20,000 bucks in your pocket. I mean, give them 10,000 bucks. I mean, give them 10,000 bucks. Because why? Or is because why? I mean, because it's worth it. You have to understand it's because prior to that, you are growing. And now what happens in that $10,000 for one night is something that changes your life. I mean, guess what? You upsell yourself to live the greatest life for one night. You are now living for one night like a king or queen. I mean, you understand? You give 10,000 bucks for one night to live somewhere. I mean, you understand? I mean, you're rich. You're rich. I mean, now you understand that it may be 50% of your money in terms of plastic. I mean, plastic comes and goes. But guess what? I mean, one night, you can say you gave 10,000 bucks to live one night somewhere. I mean, get to that point. Get to that point. And you understand every single day that you focus upon understanding that when you really deliver your content, you can do anything. You can always upsell yourself. And now, understand that no matter what, that since I gave him this kind of money, you have to understand that either way, I'm somebody now who's much more worth it. But then guess what happens? I leave after 1 hour. I left 1 hour. I give this person an amount of money, you understand? And then guess what? I leave right away. I put the keys in the Dropbox. I never even use the room. And why? Because I'm rich. I give him the money for one night, and then I left to Port Stephens. I mean, you understand? Because guess what? I have business to do. You understand? I'm just renting the room for insurance in case something happens. You understand? I gave him the plastic money because I did a late check-in. I did a late checkout. You understand? And then what happens is, they're asking me for some plastic money here. So when they ask you for something, you give it to them. I mean, when you never want to give, or else they will complain. Or as if I ask you to give me 10,000 bucks, you have to give me. You have to. I mean, if you ask somebody for 10,000 bucks, I realize they have to give it to you. I mean, why is that? Because you're asking for it. I mean, they have to give it to you. And then what happens is, you'll eventually make it. I mean, why? Because you're asking for it. You're asking for it. You'll make it for yourself. So if you're asking all the time for people to give you money, you'll find it. I mean, if you're asking for $1 billion in plastic money, you'll find it. I promise you. Somebody has your plastic money. So you have to be asking, who's got my money? As Grant Cardone says. So every single day, focus upon understanding that you have to be going and really being into people. Or else now, I understand that many people from the past hate me. But guess what? Or else they're never the way. Or else they're never the way for me. In terms of life. I'm pretty sure all that. I have to go the new way. I have to go somewhere else where there's no people. In terms of, there's no people from the past. And I have to talk to them. Because that's my new path. I never want to be going backwards. I want to be going forwards. You know what I'm saying? So what's amazing is every single day, never focus on people who are from the past. Focus on people who are new. You know what I'm saying? Because people of the past are just jealous of you. And they never appreciate you. And they never want to come with you anywhere. And guess what? Or else they just hate you. In a sense, so what you need to do every single day is focus upon giving really much more information about everything. But I understand now that I have a nice, beautiful attitude. And that's everything. So when I'm speaking to people, I can speak to 65-year-olds. I can speak to 80-year-olds. I can speak to anybody. And I can speak in front of tens and thousands of people. I mean, isn't that a beautiful skill that you want in life? I mean, if you're a teenager, you can hang around with 90-year-olds. I mean, understand? I mean, you can hang around 200-year-olds. I understand? You can hang around these people who are old or young. I mean, whatever they are. I mean, do you understand? Because you can communicate with them. You can just stand tall. I mean, you can just be confident and you can lead them. You can stand around 1 billion people in the spotlight and be famous because you can just do it because you can communicate that. I mean, in a sense, so communication is powerful, and every single day that you go and grow those goals of yours, I mean, go and write a to-do list and just check it out. I mean, guess what? I have a nice, beautiful map over here, and I'm here at the Bungalow Backpackers, which is the nice, beautiful Samurai accommodation center here in Port Stephens. But guess what? I mean, do you see this nice, beautiful map over here? I mean, check it out. I mean, do you see this? I mean, do you see this over here? I mean, this is a map over here. I mean, do you see that map? I went everywhere. I went everywhere on that map. Understand? Just in 5 hours. I mean, 5 hours. I mean, you understand? I went to all these beaches. I went over here. 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 I mean, I went all across these beaches everywhere. I mean, understand? And then I also went to the lookout over here and over here and over here. I went to 3 lookouts. I mean, you understand? So within 5 hours, I gave $450. But guess what? I have a nice time. I have a beautiful time. You understand? I mean, 5 hours with an Uber driver. And the guy taking me everywhere around these beaches in Port Stephens. Understand? And guess what? I was on the way to Newcastle. I gave him another $100 to get to my accommodation. Understand? So guess what? I was 30-kilometer drive. I give $100. Understand? So every single day, focus upon understanding that I'd rather give him $100 and be escorted in terms of be delivering myself a better way to get into my accommodation than take the bus. I'd rather go by Uber than take the up, or else I'd rather go by Uber than go by bus. Understand? So realize you go by the better way, or else when it's more affordable for you to go by Uber, to go travel to all the islands over here, and to go and see all the lookouts, and to go see all the places, I'd rather give $450 to one Uber driver to take me all the way around, because he's already familiar with the place. Or else he can take me to all 20 beaches. But if I grab a rental car for 3 days, I mean, I then would get lost, because what happens is, I mean, I'm here for the first time. Whereas now the hostel people may say, go to this place and this place and this place. I mean, they may say 3 places around here, but he says 20 places. I mean, go 20 places around here. I mean, in a sense, so it's much more worthy for me to give him $450 and for him to be my tour guide for about 5 hours, and then to grab my own car and rental car from people around town, because guess what? Whereas he has insurance on his car, so if somebody crashes into this car, that's nothing. That's none of my business. Understand? Now, isn't that an insurance for yourself? You grab an Uber driver, and he's insured, or as they have insurance, or as their insurance, or as they, I mean, she or he has insurance on that car, but that's totally separate from you. Or as if he crashes into a tree or something, I mean, you have nothing to do with that. Understand? But he's driving you everywhere. I mean, she's driving you everywhere. Understand? So either way, I mean, what have you got to lose? Understand? Or else I'd rather let him drive me to 20, or I'd rather let them Uber drivers, or he or she, drive me to 20 places around Port Stephens than me having to drive there. I mean, understand? I mean, by the time I drive there, I mean, come on. I mean, alone, I'd rather be with somebody who's driving me, and then also walking with me to those beaches and talking to me and saying, this is or this is that mountain, and this is what happened in this place, and this is the lighthouse, so we have to go to the lighthouse now. And he's going to be, or as he or she is going to be talking to you about all these places around town, and just go. Or as they may say, there's a beach over there though. I mean, you're interested in going. I want to go see that beach. I mean, please take me over there. I mean, are you able to take a photo of me as well? I mean, ask him, you understand? Or as this man or woman who may drive you, or as they do some photos of you and videos of you, or as this man who drove me today. I mean, you have to understand that he's taking videos of me when I ask, or as he's doing photos of me when I ask, or as he is opening the door for me. I mean, he's opening the door for me, and he's also parking in front of me to get into the car. I mean, understand? I mean, he's showing me the tour, man. Have you ever been on a tour bus before? I mean, the guy's always speaking on the microphone. I mean, that's what he's doing to me. I mean, so this Uber driver, I'm lucky to have him. But understand that he gives me even $20 as well on the first day. I met him just 2 days ago. I met him twice. You understand? I mean, guess what? I was like, he offers me the service. I mean, if you're an Uber driver, I mean, offer people the service to go and tour guide them everywhere. I mean, he made $450 from me in 5 hours. You understand? So people work 16 hours. I mean, people work really, let's say 20 hours to get that money in Australia. I mean, he gets it in 5 hours. I mean, understand? I mean, guess what? He saved some time over here. So guess what? Was that if you understand, you can always offer people services as an Uber driver to drive people to anywhere they want, regardless of the Uber, and do it on black money too. I mean, you understand? I mean, do it on black money, because why not? I mean, you're working on the side for yourself. I mean, that's got nothing to. I mean, that has nothing to do with the government. Understand? Whereas if you choose to help people with your services and you choose to make some plastic money on the side, I mean, go and do it. You understand? I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, keep quiet about that. I mean, keep silent about it. You understand? I mean, if you make $10,000 because you gave some people some words of encouragement on the side without the government's taxing and all that, and whereas they give it to you, I mean, just zip your mouth and just keep it. You understand? I mean, just go somewhere with that money. I mean, forget the police. Whereas if you go to the police and say, I made $10,000 on this individual who I gave him some words of encouragement, or is they going to say 60% of that money has to be taxed? I mean, they're saying, or is they give you 4,000 instead? I mean, why do you want to tax money? Or I mean, why do you want to tax your money for? I mean, keep the $10,000 and forget the police. You understand? I mean, forget them because they are jealous of you. I mean, they're going by the law. You understand? And now, guess what? You forget the tax because what happens is, understand that people in real estate never give tax money. I mean, understand? Or they never give tax money. So why do you have to? In a sense, every single day, focus upon understanding that every single day you have to be helping people. So offer a service as well that if you are driving a boat and you're an Uber driver, or if you're just driving a boat and you have a boat license and you can drive a boat and you can drive an Uber as well, I mean, give people that service that you can drive them around the islands as well in a boat, but make sure that they rent the boat and then call you on a separate occasion where you come on that day and you're the one who's driving the boat for them. But then you're making the plastic money. And they say, go here, you drive there. You understand? But be their driver in the boat and also offer them that service and offer them the Uber driver service. But if you have a car right now, I mean, who said that you need Uber? I mean, who said that you need Uber to give people a delivery service? I mean, who said? I mean, guess what? I mean, give them your number and say, you call me when you want to lift. You understand? You call me when you want to lift. I'll come get you. I'll give you a price. You understand? I mean, that's it. Or as if you call me, or as you want to go to Melbourne, I say, hey, I mean, it's 200 kilometers away. I mean, understand that it's $500 if you want me to grab you from that nice beautiful range. You understand? I'll drive you by Uber. You understand? I mean, guess what? Or is that if you want to go 200 k's anyway today with Uber, or it's $1,000, I'll give it to you for 500. Understand? I mean, you give them you give them $500 discount. I mean, do you understand? So what's amazing is they pick you over the Uber. You're giving them a service. You're giving them a private service. You understand? But it's never got to do with, or it has nothing to do with taxi, or it has nothing to do with Uber. In a sense, so use your car as your service. I mean, do you understand? So every single day, or as if you have a boat, or as offer your boat as your service. I mean, rent it out to somebody. I mean, rent out your car to somebody. I mean, do you understand? So when you're renting out your car, you can rent out the car literally. You can just say, you pick up my car here and take it away and just give the money. Or as although, guess what? Or as you can drive them too. In the boat, you can drive them in the car. You have to understand, you can give people your iPhone service as well. I mean, come and get my iPhone for a bit if you want. I mean, whatever. I mean, rent people out some clothes or something. Or as if you ever want clothes, I mean, come and grab it over here, or it's $20 an hour or whatever. I mean, understand? I mean, you have something in your garage, I mean, offer them a service to put something in your garage for a bit. I mean, do you understand? I mean, you can offer people these services, you understand? So, I understand either way, I have so much information, I can offer people so much services around information. I mean, I never do it. I work for free. I work for free. And now, I understand either way that I can, and now I understand that Jesus Christ never wants to price people about information. I mean, that's just simple, isn't it? He never wants to price you about veganism today. I mean, let's just say that Jesus Christ is alive today, or else he never wants to price you on God. I mean, God's everything. I mean, why does Jesus? I mean, guess what, Rose? Jesus never wants to price you for any amount of money to make some plastic money on you today. For anything, I mean, Jesus Christ rather let other people price him. So what happens here is Jesus Christ expects that Jesus Christ is going to grow, but then other people are going to come to Jesus Christ and just give him money and abundance because Jesus Christ is just helping so many people. Understand? I mean, now, how does Jesus Christ find this money? And now, if Jesus Christ has to work in 9 to 5, or if Jesus Christ will go and work in 9 to 5, I mean, do you understand? I'll rush you now. If Jesus Christ is working on 9 to 5, I mean, what does Jesus Christ do in 9 to 5? I mean, Jesus Christ goes in 9 to 5 and helps people. And now, does Jesus Christ work for the money? Of course not. Lord Jesus Christ never works for money. Lord Jesus Christ goes there to help people. And then what does Jesus Christ do from that point? Or does Jesus Christ make sure that eventually Jesus Christ goes to better places? And that's it. Understand? Or you just make sure you're going to better places. And eventually you're going to live from that place. You're going to overcome it. Understand? Because if you're working or as if you're working in a warehouse, or as if you're working in a warehouse, or in an office, or in a 9-to-5 job, I never want you working there for 40 years. I want you to understand that I want you out of that job as soon as possible, because I want you to work out of the 9-to-5. I want you to understand that anything that's in a 9-to-5 is never your passion. But what your passion is, I realize, is something that's never the 9-to-5 work. So what you realize is, if you're stuck, or else if you're ever stuck inside of a 9-to-5 job, you have to understand that it's really that you overcome it. Understand? So, for example, now for me to overcome Port Stephens today, I still have to go ride the camel. I still have to go ride the horse. I still have to go see the lookout in the daytime over there where I just went. I went to see this lookout, but it's cloudy and it's rainy and it's stormy and it's all fog in a sense. So I'm looking at the city in a different way, but it's all fog. I can see some cities. I realize it's a beautiful view, and I can see some mountains, but it's a different view. But then I want to go on a sunny day. I want to see the mountains in a sunny feel, and there's no clouds and there's no rain. You know what I'm saying? So I have to go there again eventually. So either way, I understand that now, since I have a nice perspective about everything, I make sure I do different perspectives sometimes. But go and understand that when you really, let's say, help yourself out every single day, you're going to focus upon making sure you're doing some communicational work daily, because that's how you need to grow. You need to grow yourself into a fortune. You have to understand that Jim Rohn says you have to work on yourself much more than you do at the 9-to-5 job, so that you can escape the 9-to-5 job, because it's about a better attitude. I understand, although that I realize that so far today, I'm speaking so much better than ever before, or is that when somebody asks me a question, I never make communicational techniques in terms of, I make communicational techniques, I just never make communicational mistakes. I mean, there's no mistakes in my life. And now, since there's no mistakes, or is that I make more mistakes than ever. You have to understand, I make so much mistakes, but I'm speaking better than ever, is what I'm saying. I mean, you understand? I just made a mistake. I mean, you understand? But guess what? Or is that it's no longer a mistake, because I'm learning from it. You understand? So sometimes you fall down, but get back up. You understand? And now, when you're falling back down, you have to understand that you have to lift yourself up in words. You have to understand, words achieve everything. I'm a millionaire. I'm already a millionaire. I have everything. You understand? I mean, that's powerful, isn't it? I mean, when I say it, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, in a sense, every single day, focus upon understanding that if somebody is doing something with somebody else, I mean, forget it. I mean, forget it. I mean, just do you. You understand? I mean, if somebody never wants you, I mean, forget it. I mean, focus on you. I mean, if they never want to be with you, I mean, forget it. I mean, do you. I mean, you understand? I mean, they're not important in your life. I mean, in a sense, so what's amazing is today I've been just running around. I went from 3 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. I mean, just been running around, you understand? So I've been giving you ideas over here to help you and guide you throughout life, because I'm a life coach, you understand? So either way, I understand that in the next 20 years I'll be doing this video still, but I understand either way that somebody's going to call me eventually. But guess what, or as that phase shall pass too. I mean, everything in terms of public speaking in front of people and music in front of people, or that's all going to pass very soon. Understand? So what happens eventually is I say, hey, I have a certain amount of age now. I mean, go and find somebody else. I mean, understand? I mean, I eventually understand at 95 and 90 years of age, I say, hey, I have 95 years of age now. I mean, go and find somebody else. You understand? I mean, you understand? Or else it's never worth for me to go anymore. I want to sit with my dog. I want to relax. I want to relax. I want to sit with my dogs and cats in my house. I mean, get lost. I mean, you understand? I mean, go and find somebody else. I mean, you guys can find me online. Understand? Which is that simple, isn't it? Whereas now, I want to be traveling the world as much as I can. I want to travel the world at 100. Understand? But eventually, that's what's going to happen. I'm going to say, hey, I mean, call somebody else, please. Understand? I promise you it's that simple. But the phase shall pass. You understand? I mean, this phase where you want to travel the world shall pass away. Understand? I mean, eventually you're going to say, fuck the world. You're going to say, fuck that world. I don't want to go there anymore. I mean, scrap it, because I have my daughter now. I have my grandkids. You understand? I have a dog. I want to carry my dog with me. You understand? I want to be with my dog a bit. I mean, my dog's much more important than that. You understand? I mean, forget it. You understand? Because the physicality of your life is going to fade away. You understand? So you may be strong and vibrant at 30 years of age, but then when you reach 100, you may be weak physically to go. You understand? So it's eventually going to pass you by very quickly. So understand either way that you go and do it now. I mean, go and do it as much as you can now, but eventually it's going to pass. But just realize that. You understand? I mean, just realize it's you passing away. You understand? But you're going to live a life. You're going to live a life much better than other people, and you're going to be alone doing it, because I'm confident in you that you can achieve all that you want to achieve. But understand you have to have a great attitude about it. You understand? You have to be understanding that I'm so passionate about what I do that now I have my first Psytrance track ever. I mean, I name my nice beautiful Psytrance track Utopia Reborn. I understand? So you have to go check it out when you understand that it's in my Mega Drive. But go and understand, I never put my music on Spotify or SoundCloud because they scam people of plastic money. I understand? I mean, they're scamming people all over. And I never need their service in the first place. I never care about their views. I have views, I have more than enough. You understand? I'm not sure every single day focus upon understanding that music is my passion. And now I'm so confident I never want to leave music behind. I understand that life coaching and music production is something. You understand? Because most people are just a life coach. I promise you, they're just a life coach. I promise you, I am a life coach and music producer. You understand? I produce music in terms of rock and pop and indie music and electronic and rapping music. I rap too. I'm a singer. I'm a composer. I'm an individual who I do compositions in melodies. You understand? So that's something I love to do as well, like Mozart. You understand? But different. I promise you, I'm always different than everybody. But I'm focusing on understanding that I'm the first life coach in the planet who's a music producer. You understand? And now understand that everybody's a life coach. Understand? I mean, everybody can teach you something. And a life coach is somebody who teaches you something. But I consider myself a life coach. I mean, you understand? But other people consider themselves music producer, and that's it. You understand? Because they may teach you about music and life a bit, but they never consider themselves a life coach. You understand? I'm a life coach and music producer. You understand? So focus on understanding that I'm just a rare kind of breed today who's half Croatian and half Serbian, who's a life coach and music producer, and you only find one down in the void between the planet, baby. I promise you, every single day, focus upon understanding that I'm just always much more in love with Jesus Christ and God and this life that I have, because I'm much more grateful about my life now than I ever have before, because I understand my voice is actually cracking. I'm experiencing a better life. I'm experiencing a blissful life. And why is that? Because I'm communicating it. I'm communicating it daily. I'm showing up daily in front of your face on YouTube to show you my life is a journey, and success is a journey. You understand? I have 72 years to go. I mean, hello, I have 72 years to go and to be with you here. I mean, aren't you happy? You have to understand, I'm so happy that I have 72 years to go. And even though I'm alone, I understand, I still have 72 years to live this version in a better way. Understand? I get to be much better than this. And I cannot wait to understand how I'm going to be at 50 years of age and how I'm going to be at 60, because it's so exciting how much it's going to be at 90 years of age for me to be wise and to be understanding this life in a different perspective while I'm growing is the best life. I mean, it's just so great that when you're growing yourself, you're never going to relive past memories with people, but you're going to relive new memories. You're going to go the new way. I realize I have so many people from the past. I have 50,000 people from the past. I can relive memories with them. I can go to them now and knock on their door, and guess what they're going to say? I mean, they're going to spit in my face. And do I need it? I never need it. I mean, guess what? I realize that some may have set me back, but guess what happens? I realize they're boring. I mean, they're boring people. I mean, they're working on a 5 job. I mean, they have no YouTube channel. I mean, they never ever public speak in front of a crowd. I mean, guess what? I mean, why do I need them for? I mean, they have no $1 billion in plastic money. I mean, what are they going to teach me in life? I mean, I have Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ teaches me everything. I mean, why do I need them for? I mean, I understand they grew up with me, but guess what? I never need them in my life. I understand those women, or else those women never want me. I understand? Or else they want other guys, or else they want negative guys, or else they want people who drink alcohol. You understand? I mean, they want people who eat meat. I never eat meat. I mean, if you eat meat, I mean, never be, let's say, jealous about me because I'm a vegan. I mean, just turn vegan and you understand what I mean. I mean, if you understand my perspective, or else then you can understand how I feel about eating meat. Because I never eat meat anymore. I never chose to eat meat in the first place. I mean, it was chosen upon me by my family who just gave me meat to eat. I mean, I have to consciously learn about it. I have to consciously learn about everything now. But it's a blast. Otherwise, it's never a disease to learn. But I understand that my family is just meat eaters. Or they never care about vegans. You understand? I have to learn how to become a vegan by myself. I'm the only individual in my ancestry and in my family ever to be a vegan. You understand? I mean, there's nobody else that's vegan. I mean, there's nobody else in my family that's a vegan except I. And now why is that? Because I challenge people. I challenge their mistakes. I challenge their mindset. I challenge everything they are. You understand? Because I was overweight. I was 113 kilos. I dropped it down. I dropped my weight down to 70. And around 70 kilos, I dropped 47 kilos. And then what happens is, I'm much better than yesterday now. You understand? Because I'm maintaining my weight. I'm healthier than ever before. I realize my skin is looking excellent. Whereas nobody else and the fat people out there, in terms of overweight people, never want my help. And guess what? I mean, goodbye. I mean, what do you believe? I mean, do you believe I'll chase you? I never chase you. I never chase you. But guess what? I can help you. I can help you. And now, isn't my job to chase them? I have to go to them. I have to go to them. But guess what? Or is that you can come to me too. You understand? You can come to me. And now, since you're not, or since you guys are never asking me, I mean, guess what? Or there's so many overweight people over there. I mean, there's so many overweight people on the planet. Or as by the time I reach out to you, I mean, or as 50 years of my life is gone. I mean, understand? I mean, I have to focus on my life. I have to focus on other aspects. Or else instead of being a weight loss coach, instead of being a health coach, instead of being a nutritionist, and instead of being a nutritional coach, I just go life coach. You understand? And now I just teach the whole broad range of everything. And I teach business, I teach finance, I teach confidence, I teach skills in pitching and marketing and sales and everything now because my mentors do that. You understand? Or as my mentors teach everything. And I just sum up all the information and I teach Jesus too. You understand? I teach everything. I teach Buddha. I teach spirituality now. I teach everything. You understand? Because I'm a life coach now. I never want to be just a weight loss coach anymore. You understand? I can design a plan for you, but if you follow it, I promise you, you lose 47 kilos. I promise you. I can design those plans for everybody. You understand? But nobody wants them from me. Or nobody's asking me. I mean, I put a free service online and nobody wants my help. Because guess what? I have 999 followers. I mean, big deal. I mean, Jesus Christ has 12 followers. I mean, what's the difference? I mean, do you understand? I mean, does it make me any better than Jesus Christ? I probably should know. I probably should, I'm better than yesterday though. I vouch for that. You understand? And now I'm following Jesus Christ every single day. But if you believe you're someone greater than Jesus Christ, I mean, forget about it. You understand? You can be greater than yourself. You can be greater than yourself because Jesus Christ is greater than himself. You understand? You can be greater than yourself. I mean, greater than other people. You can never be greater than other people. You understand? You can never conquer other people. You can conquer yourself. You understand? Version now, is Jesus Christ greater than you? Version no. Version Jesus Christ is never greater than anybody. I promise you, Jesus Christ is only greater than himself. Version is God greater than you? Version God's never greater than you. Version God is never greater than you. I mean, why would God then be here? I mean, why would God come to you? I mean, if God's so good in life, I mean, if God's so much more better than you, I mean, why does God show Jesus Christ here? You have to understand, it's really, God is better than God, you be better than you, I mean, Jesus Christ will be better than Jesus Christ, and this world has to be better than this world. Unfortunately, that's it, isn't it? Unfortunately, I never need to be better than you. You understand? I mean, Jesus Christ never needs to be better than you and I. Unfortunately, Jesus Christ has to be just better than Jesus Christ. I have to be better than I have to be better than myself in I. You understand? I just have to focus on that every single day. I just have to be better than I. You have to be better than yourself. Unfortunately, everybody has to be better than themselves. I mean, do you understand? Unfortunately, life is never a competition with other people. Understand? I mean, it's just making sure they understand that when you're lifting yourself, you're going to find the prosperity every single day to do what you need to do. And understand God's always watching me when I do this. You have to understand that when I'm doing anything in life, you have to understand that God is everything. Unfortunately, God is a pervert. Actually, God is silence. Actually, God is beautiful. I mean, God's everything. I mean, understand? But guess what? I mean, God is watching you all the time. I understand? I mean, you can never hide from God. You can never hide the truth. You can never hide yourself from God. I mean, understand? I mean, look at the story of Eve and I mean, those two. I mean, Adam and Eve, for example. I mean, they tried to hide from God, and they go naked, or as they go nude. Understand? Or as they eat the apple from the tree of evil and good, or as they try to hide from God, but God finds them out really quickly. You understand? Because the truth always comes out, doesn't it? Otherwise, you have to understand that if you're hiding something, or else if you kill somebody, you have to hide, or else you never hide anything. But guess what happens? Or else eventually it comes to the surface. I mean, somehow, that if you want to be more successful, you have to say it. You have to speak those words out. You have to say that you did kill somebody. You have to realize that. You have to say that. But then as soon as you say that, you just move on. You just move on. I mean, let somebody see that. I mean, guess what? You're a free man. You're a free woman now. Or as if they never put you in prison because you said those words, Roshi, guess what? You live again. You understand? Roshi, that's that. Roshi, now, if you understand that, Roshi, now, let's say somebody goes and kills somebody, but they never tell anybody, but eventually they make a video about it, and they say they killed this man, or whatever. I mean, let's just say that they put it online, you understand? And they say they kill Michael Jackson or whatever, you understand? I mean, let's just say it. I mean, let's just put it like that. And they just say they're the convict of that, and they're the prosecutor of this man. And guess what? Or is that nobody really watches that video in the first place? I mean, nobody's watching that video, you understand? But they've already told you, you understand? And now the police have to go and get them or whatever. But no. Or as nobody has to go get him or her, you understand? But they've already told you somehow. Or as they post it up online in a mega drive somewhere, or they post it somewhere, and they say this is what they've done. But guess what happens? You go in silence. You go in silence and forget about it. Or as if they find you out and they put you in jail now, you go jail then. You understand? You go jail. But if they never find you out, you forget about it. You may have done it to somebody. You may have really, let's say, done all that where you did kill someone, although I never killed someone. You understand? Although you must understand that every single day, that if somebody kills someone and then owns up to it and nothing is done to that individual, you just understand they have already learned from it. You understand? Because they expose it. Whereas when you expose it, you have learned from it. You understand? Whereas now what you're never exposing is killing you. You understand? Roshi, if you're never exposing the drug lifestyle that you're doing to people, Roshi, it's killing you. Roshi, you have to expose everything about you. You have to expose everything that you're afraid to expose about you. And now, as soon as you expose everything about your life, you'll be in the spotlight. You will have the greatest lifestyle. I expose everything about me. I expose everything in my journal. I write and write and write. And guess what? Whereas nobody else reads it. Whereas nobody else reads it. You understand? And they never care about it. Whereas I give you my whole life story. Whereas nobody cares. Whereas nobody cares except I. You understand? So if you're so afraid of exposing your life today, I mean, go and write a journal and post it online. I promise you nobody else will watch it. I promise you nobody will watch you writing your story. Understand? So what happens is, you just start getting more confident about your story. I mean, you start exposing yourself so much that people just never care about you. And then what happens is, people start to care about you eventually. Understand? Because when they start to care about you, is when you're more successful. Understand? Because why? You're exposing your story. But people, you must understand, are afraid to expose their story. Understand? And because they're afraid to expose their story, that's what's holding them back. Who's holding them back? I mean, they are. I mean, if you're never exposing your life story, you are then holding yourself back. Because you're afraid to do that. And I'll never be afraid in the first place. But expose your life story now. Understand? I have 3 years of journaling. I mean, every single day I write 100,000 words about myself. I mean, every single day I write 100,000 words and more about myself in my journal, and I upload it online so I can teach you about my life. And now, whether you read it or not, I'm exposing my life story. And I mean, guess what happens in 10,000 years' time? I mean, somebody's going to read it. I mean, they're going to say, this is the life of Danny Milivojevic in the 21st century. I mean, it may be the 50 millionth century in that time where they're reading it. I mean, it may be the 50 million, or it may be 50 million centuries right now in terms of life. But I've been in the 21st century. And now those people who are reading in the 50th million century are going to understand me in the 21st century. You know what I'm saying? Because that's already another 50 million years to go until that happens, until they read my story. You know? I love I. Whereas now, I understand that I just know I. Whereas now, every single day, I understand that there's 50 million years to go. But then somebody in 50 million years' time is going to be reading Danny Milivojevic and all this journaling that I did. In a sense, so my story is being exposing itself all along for 3 years now. In a sense, so every single day, or as whether you like to read my story or not, or as somebody else is going to read my story. In a sense, so every single day, I'm focusing upon teaching you right now that I'm the best life coach in the planet, or as in the 21st century, where I lead this world. You understand? I lead this world. I govern this world. You understand? I do everything with Jesus Christ. I want you now, if you are with Jesus Christ, I mean, who can be against you? Nobody can be against you. I mean, nothing can be against you. Otherwise, now, if you go to the politics today and you go to the government and you say, hey, by whose laws are you making these laws from? I mean, who put you in charge? I mean, did Jesus Christ tell you to do this? You must understand that every single day that Jesus Christ never wants what they are doing in the planet. Understand? Whereas Jesus Christ wants what's better for you, and that's it. Understand? Because everything that everybody else is doing is never what Jesus Christ is, or else everything that everybody else is doing is never what Jesus Christ is exactly doing. But I am doing exactly like Jesus Christ. Understand? I'm doing exactly as I follow the law of Jesus Christ. And now, whose law is that? I mean, it's Jesus Christ's law. And now, guess what? Or it's a free law. I mean, there's no punishment. I understand. Or as Jesus Christ say, Jesus Christ may say, "Thou shalt not kill." I mean, that's just a command. Or else now, you must understand that if you go killing people, I mean, Jesus Christ is never going to stop you, and Jesus Christ will never put you in jail. Understand? I mean, that's our God. I mean, God never wants to put you in jail, regardless of what you do. Understand? So what you do is realize that people are the ones that put you in jail. I mean, if you go killing people today, I mean, people will put you in jail. Understand? I mean, it's just that simple. But Jesus Christ never puts you in jail. But Jesus Christ may say, "Thou shalt not kill." Understand? But back in those times, I mean, 10,000 BC, I mean, those are now, or the times are now. I mean, that happens, or everything's happening today. Understand? But when you're really, really speaking out of you, and you're focusing on a better direction, you're pointing the sail into your direction, and you're understanding every single day to focus upon. You have to focus upon delivering. You have to focus upon delivering content. I excuse myself. I understand every single day you have to excuse yourself sometimes when you're hiccups. You're doing the hiccups. I understand. I did eat before this, so I understand now. I'm much more preparing myself for what's to come. And now you have to understand that what's to come for myself in the next 10 years is 9-to-5 job, and it's also just working, and it's just making sure. You have to understand that I have no 9-to-5 job. Or as the next 10 years, or as there's no 9-to-5 job in my life. I'm just working. You understand? I never even considered the 9-to-5 job a 9-to-5 job. You understand? I never care about that plastic money that they give me. I'm pretty sure it's nothing of value. But there's nothing there that $200 a day can help me with. I mean, you understand? But there's nothing. There's always something in Jesus Christ. But understand that 2-hour videos every single day is much more than what they give me in plastic money. Understand? I mean, this video is going to help people for centuries and decades. I'm pretty sure that's much more than what they're giving you at the 9-to-5 job. So I understand now that I'm just a great. I'm a great over here. I'm a great in this class of 21st century. I'm the entrepreneur. I am the entrepreneur. I'm the best. There's nothing better than me in life. Now, you must understand there's nothing better than the word I. That's that. Every single day, focus upon understanding that if I say I'm better than you, I'm just meaning that I'm better than myself. I never mean to offend you. Understand? I mean, if you get offended by I, you have to understand that you never get offended by you. You understand? I am you. You understand? You are I. We have to work as a team, but understand there is no we. You understand? There's I and there's I, which is the I that is watching I today. You are the word I who is watching I. You understand? I is everything. I is you, I is I. You understand? I is everything. And now I is the phone. I is the sky. I is the galaxy. I is everything. I mean, every single day you have to understand we are all the word I. And now connect us together and understand that we are just something bigger than this world. But understand every single day you have to focus upon understanding I'm alone. I mean, there's no girlfriend by my side. I mean, there's no wife. I mean, there's no kids. But I understand what's happening. I have 20 years. I mean, there's 20 years to go until I make a kid. I mean, whoa. I mean, big deal. I understand. I mean, guess what? I mean, I'll be 48. I'll be 48 in 20 years' time. I mean, I can make kids until 55. I mean, Grant Cardone has. I mean, Grant Cardone makes kids at 55. I understand. I mean, I can do it too. I mean, what? I mean, that's 25 years to go. I mean, understand? I mean, that's 27 years to go. I understand? I mean, I have so much time to make a kid. I'm 28. I understand. So realize, I'm not in a rush. I mean, if you have to rush even before 40 years of age to make a kid, I mean, then you're too quick about this life. You understand? You have to understand life is long. You understand that you never make kids before 30. You never make kids before 30. Understand? Roshi, now, if you're a millionaire before 30, I mean, does it make you better than Jesus Christ? Roshi, no. Roshi, you must understand, you never have to be ashamed. You don't have to be in a shame for yourself. You have to understand it's really that if you make kids after 40, you can now make kids. Roshi, at 40 years of age, and you're better than yesterday, Roshi, go and make kids right now. Because guess what happens? You just are better than ever, and you have all the financial security to make a kid now. At 40, I mean, yes. I mean, go ahead. I mean, at 30, you're still making your career at 30. Understand? Roshi, at 20, you are too early to make a kid at 20 years of age. I mean, at 20, or I was in 20s, or I was at 20s, and in 20s, or I was at 21 and 22, or I was in the 20s, I mean, forget about it. I mean, in the 30s, I mean, you have to make your career. I mean, in the 40s, you have done that career. You understand? I mean, now you're into better things. And now what happens here is, understand, you're just delivering much more than ever. And you're still doing your career. You're just much better. You're just able to now make a kid at 40. I mean, at 40, it's easy to make a kid. I mean, you can have 10 wives at 40. You understand? I mean, that's how confident you can be. You can be so confident when you can have 10 husbands. You can have 50 husbands because you're so confident. Understand? I mean, understand? So at 40, I mean, if you have no kid at 40, you have to understand. Or if you have no kids in your 40s, I mean, ask yourself why. I mean, ask yourself why. Because it's either you never want kids, or it's either you have no confidence. Or now, if you never want kids, or is this because you're confident? You understand? Or is now people who never want kids are confident about themselves, and that's it. Understand? I mean, Jesus Christ has no kids because why? Or else Jesus Christ is confident in Jesus Christ. But if you want kids and you're 50 and you have no kids, I'm approaching it. Now, ask yourself really why is that? Because it's either you are confident about yourself having no kids, or you're lacking confidence. Understand? Approaching, that's all it is. Understand? So what you need to do from this point is, if you have no kids at 50s, I mean, start improving your communicational skills and start understanding that it's because maybe you're drinking alcohol or doing drugs, or maybe you're around people who are the crowd and you have no $1 million in your pocket in terms of plastic money, or you have no financial security, or maybe you're overweight, or maybe you're not just, I mean, maybe you're never even studying too much information. You have to be understanding that it's more so that you have to dive into that information, and you have to start life coaching every single day. You have to start really teaching yourself much more about life. You have to start experiencing life much more, but never be afraid, and understand every single day that Jesus Christ has no kids as well. You understand? So never be ashamed of yourself. You understand? I mean, be strong about this. You understand? I mean, understand Jesus Christ wants you to live life. I mean, Jesus Christ has no kids. I mean, just remember that. Rosh, every single day that if you look at Jesus Christ, Rosh, it's the best way to, let's say, prevent suicide, and understand that people who are looking to understand, to help people who may cause suicide, I mean, teach them the Bible of Jesus Christ, and just say, hey, I mean, I understand that you're in a tough time today, and or as in terms of your situation, but look at Jesus Christ and look at his story about him being whipped, or as, and how they put him on a cross, and also how they were whipping him for no reason, and he was so kind to everybody. I mean, you understand? And you have to understand that when they see that, and they see that Jesus Christ is right, or that he wrote the Bible and he has taught disciples, and all of this happens in the Bible, and just go and teach and preach about how Jesus Christ raises from the dead, and regardless of what people are doing, that he never tries to fight back, and he never tries to kill himself. And look at Jesus Christ. I mean, you understand? And then guess what? That's going to lift the spirit, you understand? And then just go and really talk about Jesus Christ in front of them. I mean, that's all you have to understand, because Jesus Christ can relate to them on some level, you understand? So every single day, understand that when you have a life story and somebody else is trying to commit suicide, I mean, teach them how you overcame that situation. So I overcame the barrier of killing myself with a knife into the throat, and also by drowning myself. I never tried to drown myself, but I understand I wanted to drown myself before. I understand I never want to drown myself now. I understand it's more, I realized that I was so much more of a drug addict before, that I understand that when I went off the drugs and when I understood to get away from the crowd that was doing drugs, I then started to, I then start really living from this point on. And then what happens is I start to really learn from this point on, and here I am. I mean, I started to read. I'm still reading today. I start to do everything that's much more curious. I start to really plan my life forward, and when I plan my life forward, I'm just focusing on my delivery. You understand, I said 3 hours in this video of talking because I want to catch up, because I understand that I didn't miss out before on 3 days of information, which is 3 hours of work. You understand? So I plan to understand every single day that I want to do much more than yesterday. I want to be able to do 1 hour a day minimum. So that's why that's 3 hours. So 3 days, I do 3 hours then. I mean, in a sense, so every single day, I understand minimum is 3 hours. I want to be accomplishing 1 hour a day of video work. So I understand either way that I have filled back 3 hours on, or as I fell back in terms of 3 hours with 2 hour videos. I mean, but 2 hour videos is something that I can achieve somewhere else in terms of life. I understand what's important is understanding that I talk to you and that I coach you in this video, that I guide you, and that I understand that I have to communicate myself into greatness. I mean, you understand? I mean, I'm the James Bond of growth. You understand? I mean, I'm the James Bond of growth. I understand every single day I seen a pelican today. I understand that you must understand Scarface. I see pelican. I see pelican. I see pelican. I understand either way. You must understand either way. I feel like Scarface. I mean, I feel Scarface. I feel powerful. I mean, I feel powerful. And how do I feel powerful? I feel powerful in my communication dome. Yeah, I mean, do you understand? And now you must understand. I'm better than I'm better than E. I'm better than O. I mean, you understand? I talk. I mean, there's no in my communication. You understand? I mean, there's no and then and then and then I understand, because that's Toastmasters. I understand? When they speak and you understand? I'm pretty sure those individuals never go Toastmasters are even worse. I understand? I'm pretty sure every second word is and fuck. I understand? I understand you people. I understand straight away. But guess what happens? I understand now. I have so much better communicational skills than ever before, and that's why I'm here. I mean, that's why I'm so confident to be able to go and do what I do. I understand? So that's why I'm traveling the world as much as I can right now, because I understand I'm young. I'm young to do it now, and I'm always going to be young, but my physical body is going to get younger, you understand? But then I'm just going to be somewhere in a better dome to be doing something much more of a higher purpose in traveling the world at this time, you understand? Because eventually I'm going to say, I see no interest there anymore. I've done that because what's amazing is you may be hoping for an opportunity somewhere. You may be hoping for one opportunity where they're going to read your book and it's going to be a film. I mean, that's just one opportunity, you understand? I mean, guess what? Your book is already a film. Your book is already what you want it to be. You understand? You wrote the book. You can see it in your life. I mean, forget it. You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, understand, they may give you the opportunity if you're lucky. You understand? But guess what? You wrote your film, you have your dream. Your dream is fulfilling itself. You understand? I mean, if you wrote a book and you want a dream, you go for it. I mean, guess what? Or is that what's amazing is understand you have to dream. You have to dream about something, but dream big. But guess what? I promise you, if you write books and you're hoping for other people to give you some kind of opportunity, I promise you they'll never give you an opportunity. I promise you they'll never give you an opportunity. You understand? I promise you, now, if you ask, you shall receive. I promise you, if you ask more enough times for people to give you an opportunity, or she'll never give you an opportunity. But you will. You definitely will give yourself an opportunity. You understand? I promise you that there's so many beautiful women from the past that I could have gotten myself with, you understand? But guess what? I have no shame and regret for who I am today. I had to move away from the crowd to be who I am today. I promise you now, I'm much better than yesterday. I have a better communicational tactic than all of them. I have a better successful career than all of them. I'm doing much more for you than all of them. I mean, in a sense, so I understand these women are so beautiful, but they just want some men who are just so stupid. So I'd rather just have a better life without them, you understand? I understand that they're familiar people and it's never my comfort zone, but I understand I grow regardless of comfort zone or not anymore. I mean, there's no comfort zone in my life anymore. I can be with the same people all the time, but just be growing. But guess what? Or they'll shit on me. Or they will say, fuck off. Or they'll say, get lost and get away from the woman. I mean, in a sense, so guess what happens? I just never need to be around them in the first place because I'm just so confident I never need the woman in the first place. I brush every single day. I focus upon understanding that when I go and really speak much more and more and more, I guide myself through this communication. I mean, do you get it? I mean, do you see how much time I'm talking to you in terms of this video? I'm speaking and speaking and speaking. I find my way through this communication. I find my way. I mean, am I planning this communication on? I mean, am I planning this actual video? Actually, this video is planning itself. I mean, you understand? I'm planning this along the way. I mean, you understand, although that it's just coming across. I never wrote a script to give you this video. I just come into the video and I just start giving you this information. I mean, you understand? I'm just natural about it. I mean, in a sense, so when I went to Toastmasters, though, I seen this university girl, and now she's trying to speak in terms of, she's trying to do some public speaking, but she's holding these notes and she's reading from the word for word for word. I mean, guess what? I mean, never do that. I mean, never try to go speaking word for word for word for word for word that you wrote about your life, because I understand you may read fast. I understand you may read the words fast, but it never makes you confident to look me in the eye. You understand? I mean, you have to look me in the eye when you speak to me. I never want you to be in front of 10,000 people reading from a script. I want you to look at every single 10,000 individuals in the planet, in terms of those people who are looking at you at the seminars, and I want you to look them in the eye when you're speaking to them, because it makes you look much more confident. In a sense, so every single day, focus upon understanding that I built my career upon busking performances. I mean, I went busking for 160 hours at this moment of 28 years of age. I mean, before, I promise you, from 27 to 28, I have done 160 hours of public speaking in front of crowds at busking. I mean, at Pitt Street Mall in terms of Sydney, and people just walking past. I realized they never care about me. I mean, guess what? I mean, they'll soon care about me. I mean, they'll care about me very soon. I mean, you understand? Because eventually, they will find out about me in 10 years' time, and in 20 years' time, and I'll promise you in 30 years' time, I guarantee. I mean, do you understand why? Because I've been practicing at busking performances all this time. You understand? And there's so much more to go in terms of communication with people that I never want to hurt you. I just want to live much more. But I understand if somebody tries to kill me because of my communicational skill, I have a better life. I have a better life straight away. I just go with Jesus Christ, and I forget this world because I'm ready to leave now. I'm preparing myself for something that may come up to me and shoot me in the head. I'm preparing myself for it. I understand, because I'm somebody of a leader. I mean, look at Martin Luther King Jr. and he speaks up in front of people and then he gets assassinated. I understand, and then Mahatma Gandhi also speaks up in front of people and he gets also done by other people in terms of they kill him. You understand? And then guess what? They kill Martin Luther King Jr. and then they kill Jesus Christ. I mean, speakers. You understand? I'm a speaker too, so come and kill me too. I mean, guess what? I mean, every single day. I mean, do you understand? So what happens is, forget this world. I mean, there's a better world. I mean, I understand Jesus Christ says that I'm not from this world. You understand? So focus upon understanding that it's about attitude. I mean, do I have a great attitude in this video? I mean, that's what you need. You need a great attitude in this video. In terms of your videos, you need to make your videos, but make sure you understand I built my career upon public speaking, and now public speaking didn't start for me right away. I promise you that public speaking is something that came along the way after 3 years of journaling. I did 3 years of journaling before I even stepped foot in front of people. I understand I practice communicational skills behind the scenes, and I get good at something behind the scenes. I did start my videos though. I was making my videos 1 year prior to public speaking on the street. And now, how did I start my videos? I start my videos 1 minute at a time. I make 15-second clips of videos, and I teach one sentence in each video. And then guess what? I combine all these 15-second videos into 1 hour, and I make 1 hour episode. I mean, that's why when you see my motivational videos, you see all these small clips, and then different scenery, and then small clip of 15 seconds with Melbourne, and then you see Adelaide, 15 seconds, and then you see Melbourne, 15 seconds, and then you see a statue behind me for 15 seconds, and then you see a beach behind me for 15 seconds. And I mean, why is that? Because I'm just traveling around and I'm just doing little clips of videos here and there, but that's what built my confidence to be on camera. I mean, understand? And then guess what? I realize now, I mean, is it a 15-second clip anymore? I understand? And I mean, now it's a 3-hour clip. I understand? I mean, guess what? I realize, why is that? Because I'm confident in front of the camera now. I mean, I was doing it for 1 year like this. I understand? So now I can just be in front of the camera, and I understand that people never care about me. I mean, I've been doing it for 1 year, and I receive 3 comments online. I understand? I mean, 3 comments on my YouTube videos. I mean, guess what? There's one individual that every time I post a video, I realize they give me a thumbs down. Thank you very much. I give you a thumbs up anyway. Every single day I focus upon understanding that when I help you for 3 hours and you give me like this, I just understand I understand that people who give me thumbs down are stupid. I mean, you understand? I mean, why do you give me a thumbs down when I give you content for free to help your life? I brush every single day. I understand the unaware. I mean, you understand? I brush every single day, focus upon understanding that when you understand now how I get confident on camera, and then I'm journaling behind the scenes as well, and then I'm preparing, aren't I? Alright, now, forget the busking, for example, just for now, but let's just say I'm just writing 3 years in my journal, every single day, 100,000 words about myself, and then also, I'm writing more than 100,000 words, but let's just say you cap it at that, and do it much more than that. I mean, focus upon understanding that. Then I make all these little clips as well along the side. I mean, what is that preparing you for? I mean, it's preparing you eventually to get to public speaking in front of a crowd. I mean, understand? And then eventually I just say, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to be in front of a crowd now. I promise you, I can see it. And then what do? I just go to Brisbane, because at the time I was in Brisbane, and I sit in a tunnel, and I start my first seminar in front of people. Oh, I was shaking. But guess what? I'm very confident about what I'm saying. I was shaking, but I was very confident about what I was saying. And then guess what? I was 3 hours a day. I mean, 3 hours for 17 days. I mean, that's 52 hours of public speaking in 17 days. You understand? I mean, that's the first 17 days. But then I went to travel around. I went to Darwin. I went to Alice Springs. I went to Byron Bay. I went to other places as well in terms of the nice, beautiful Adelaide. And then I went to Sydney. And then for Sydney, in terms of life, I went and started busking again. And I went to the Cabramatta over there where I grew up for 16 years. And I gave 4 performances over there. I was in front of people. And I did 2 hours each over there. Whereas now that's 4 performances there, and then I went to Liverpool, and I gave a little bit of a performance there, but nothing much because there was never much people. But I understand either way there was too much drug addicts around. And then what happens is I just go to Sydney from this point, because I understand my biological dad just did tick me off. I was never really to make me angry, but I just say I deserve better than this. I deserve better than some guy treating me negatively. So I just went to somewhere. I went to hostels in the Sydney range over there, and I found this nice beautiful hostel, and I have a 4-bedroom apartment over there. But then I'm looking online to see where are the nice beautiful deals around here, because it's my first time being in Sydney hostels, you understand, after 1 year of traveling Australia. And then guess what? I say, hey, I found a nice beautiful place at the Q-Space Hotel, and it's $25 a night, and I'm saving all this money as well. And I just go there, and I have a 1-bedroom now. And then I just go there. I just start going to Pitt Street more. I get my nice beautiful busking license for the first time, and I start getting in front of these people. And now I'm much more confident now, because I've done at least, let's say at this point, 60 hours of public speaking. And then I just start again, and I do another 100 hours at Sydney. And then I did another 100 hours in Sydney in about 30 days. You understand? I mean, about 2 months of work. You understand? I mean, you can cap it at 2 months, but I understand either way, I'm doing more than 2 months, you understand? I understand, every single day I focus upon understanding that 30 days, I mean, I understand that's already 60 hours. I realize now just a bit more than that. I realize about 2 months. I mean, I can say 2 months, and then either way, it reaches around 160 hours. You understand? And now here I am. Whereas now, what's my plan now about busking and all that? I'm still going to busking. I'm still going busking, but this time much bigger and stronger now. I'm much better now to do it than ever before. So, otherwise it's worth it. I love being in front of people and everybody watching me. Because it makes me feel powerful when I see 20 police officers in front of me and they're looking at me like this. I understand. Or else they're like puppy dogs. You understand? I love puppy dogs. I'm the only leader in the planet when they see me. You understand? Or as they give me these dirty looks. You understand? The police officers. Or every single day I just look at them, I speak over them, and I just relax. You understand? I just go and really dwell upon doing long busking license now, and I want to do some silent work over there. I want to sit in silence with people. I want them to watch me. I want them to watch me over here. I want you to watch me how I promote myself, because you need to also you need to promote yourself all day long in front of people for free. So I give $100. I sit 8 hours in front of people every single day. That's it. Every single day. And now every single day I focus upon being single for the next 20 years. Anything can happen. Guess what? Or is that I just want to boost my popularity now. I just want to boost my popularity. You understand? Because that's much more important for me to have much more popularity now, because I'm helping people with these videos for free, because I have something to give, and that's why I promote myself. But people who are working a 9-to-5 job never have anything to give. You understand? They have money. They have some money here in terms, or they have some money in terms of plastic here and there. They may give you $20 in plastic money. They may give you a cigarette. They may give you some drugs. That's it. They may give you words of encouragement sometimes. On YouTube, I promise you, I'll never give it to you on YouTube. I promise you, although to message you, I promise you no. Understand? I promise you, they're the type of people that go 9-to-5 job. I promise you, although me, I promise you now, I never need to message you. But if you want to help yourself, you come to my YouTube channel and you come and check out what I'm doing every single day. I never need you, but I understand either way. I want you to help yourself. You understand? I brush every single day. I'm so confident now with my communicational technique that I now have music production as well, and I want to go around music every single day. I promise you, it's something that takes me into another world. Do you understand when you make a psytrance track, and when you make a psytrance track that rocks you in terms of your boat, and it's just something that really, really pounds you into the head, and you just love it. I promise you, it's so good, and you're just creating all these sounds. You're creating these new structures. You're creating something that you've never done. You're creating new melodies. You're creating new fantasies of something that you always dreamt of, but now you finally have it. You have an accomplishment. And then guess what? Before this video, I said I want to do a 3-hour video. In this one, I'm pretty sure it's already worth it, isn't it? It's already worth it. So I just continue. And how do I continue? I continue through the information that I give. I give the communicational skill, and I talk myself into it. I push myself through my communication. I say, I'm doing it. I do a 3-hour video here. I say it now. Is it? Did you hear it? I do it. I do this. I did the 3-hour video already. I said, I'm already understanding that I'm achieving everything that I want to set out to achieve. And that's it. I'm just motivating myself like that, and I just do it. Understand? But now, every single day, I look for words to say. I look for aspects of life to give you. And when I give you something to think about all day long, you have to write it down. You have to be having a journal right now. You have to be writing something down about what I'm teaching you. You have to understand I'm a teacher. I'm something of a life coach. I'm professional. This is no bullshit. Understand? Every single book in the planet is going to teach you something. It's much better today that you learn on video camera than ever before. Understand? Start teaching people is how you learn. Every single day you must understand audio work or writing work. You start doing it now. What are you good at? Is it writing or audio or video? First I did start with writing first. Understand? Because I was so never confident with my voice, and I was so never confident with me being on camera. I did start with my writing first, and then I went to audio. But then I realized my audio didn't really work for me. I skipped the audio. I went to video right away. I understand. I was never that type of individual to do podcasting much. You know that? I mean, I did try, but it never works for me. I mean, podcasting alone, in terms of just audio, never works for me. I understand? Because why? I'd rather put my face on the audio camera. I'd rather do it with video and audio together, and then or then extract the audio from the video. And that's that. I never want to be making a separate audio and then a separate video. I'd rather have my face in that 1 hour audio that I just made. You understand? Because if I just make a 1 hour audio, I mean, why not put my face in it as well? I mean, doesn't it make sense for you? I mean, although, guess what? Otherwise, it does improve you if you just do audio as well. I mean, it does improve you. You understand? I mean, everything improves you. But as long as you understand that people who go school teaching and people who do work a 9-to-5 job, I mean, they're improving their communication skill. I understand this day has been amazing for me. I mean, you have to understand. I mean, every single day, I realize I've been walking a lot today. So, whereas that right now, whereas I have an Apple Watch over here. So when I press my nice beautiful, let's say, I press my Apple Watch here. So I have a weekly summary. And what happens is I have 8,000 kilojoules. I have 8,500 kilojoules that are burnt off. And now that's for the week. Whereas now it's a Sunday today. So from Monday to Sunday, I burnt already 8,500 kilojoules. And now 7,700 kilojoules is 1 kilogram of fat. I burnt already over 1 kilogram of fat because it's 8,500 kilojoules. So I burnt around 1 kilo and 300 grams. Understand? Whereas, although you must understand that the average daily that I burnt for the week is 1,200 kilojoules. Understand? And I went 43,000 steps in 7 days. I mean, that's a 32-kilometer distance in 7 days. And now, either way, that's just how I walk at the moment. I mean, I walk here and there, but I never try to seek to run at the moment. I realize that right now, or else what's more important than physicality and physical work for me is communicational work that I'm giving you now and traveling. I'd rather travel and give you this communicational technique right now than having to go look big for some woman or something to look good. You understand? I look good already. You understand? I am my best version at the moment. I'm my best version. So those guys that have these 6-packs and all that, I mean, congratulations. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you have all this nice, beautiful body, I mean, do you believe you look better than me? You never look better than me. You look better than yourself. You never look better than me. You understand? I mean, you're delusional if you believe you look better than me. You understand? I'm better than yesterday. You must be better than yesterday. You understand? I mean, you can never compete with me in my looks. I mean, you can never be my looks. I mean, you can never have this nose ever in your life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how can you compete with this? You can never compete with that. You can have your nose. I have my nose. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now, when a woman says that this man looks hotter than this one, or this woman looks hotter than this one, I mean, what is going on through your mind? So, you must understand that you must just go for yourself rather than those individuals. I mean, why do you care who's good looking good and who's looking sexier and who's not? I mean, are they going for you or not? I mean, if they're never going for you, I mean, they're never attractive. I mean, do you understand? I promise you, if they go for you and they specifically want to marry you, I promise you that's the only time they're attractive. I mean, do you understand? Because if you're better than yesterday, you attract somebody who runs to you who's better than yesterday. I mean, you understand? I promise you now, if they never run to you, you deserve better. I promise you, if you're worse than yesterday, you will attract somebody who's going to run to you and they're going to be worse than yesterday. You deserve what you are. I mean, understand? I deserve better than yesterday. I deserve a woman that looks sexier than ever. Because that's who I am. I look sexier than ever. And that's it. I never step for less in life. I never go chasing them, because if you go chasing women, you always run into the ones that are the lowest vibe. They have the looks. But they crap persona. Understand? I promise you, you see many porn star women today. I mean, guess what happens to them? I mean, they look something like good. I mean, they have the fake tits, or they have skin and all this, you have to understand, although they look good, I mean, you understand? I mean, they're bangable, you know what I'm saying? But guess what happens? I mean, they go for anybody, and they're worse than yesterday, or they're doing drugs, you know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. I mean, do you want to chase that? Or else do you want that as your wife in life? I mean, she banged 500,000 million guys around town. I mean, do you want that as your wife? I mean, how is that attractive for you ladies out there? I mean, how is that attractive? I mean, when you're an escort, I mean, why are you an escort for? I mean, why are you a stripper? I mean, who wants that for a wife in life? I mean, what for? Understand? I mean, understand either way that you may be saying that it's the only thing you can do or something. I mean, guess what? You can do better. You can always do better. You understand? You guys out there, I mean, you want to be a bachelor or something? You want all the women to run for you? I mean, guess what? You run for you first. You understand? But guess what? You have to be a bachelor. You understand? You ladies have to be a bachelorette. You understand? You have to understand that it's never about doing anything other than you today. But guess what? You guys have to understand that anybody who's going around having sex with other people, you're just wasting your time. You understand? Whereas it's never about that. I see guys on the pornography and what they're doing in nightclubs, or as they go to these women and it's like a woman's night or something, and the guy just starts rambling the individual's mind out in front of these women, and they're just all going into the guy. You understand? Because what's happening is the guy's a stripper. You understand? And he's having sex with them. And I mean, if you're doing that, it's the same as a stripper woman who just goes into a woman's strip club and guys are there watching her. And this is the same thing for a guy. I mean, the guy's a stripper, but the woman around him. You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, what you need to do, that's what they call a hen's night or something like that. I mean, guess what? I mean, you must understand. I mean, forget about it. I mean, you understand? I mean, forget about all that. I mean, that's a waste of time. I understand, for example, Ziz. I understand that, for example, with him, I understand that he also was doing that. But I understand I respect him. I love Ziz. I understand, although you must understand that when you look at his life, I understand he was doing a lot of drugs or else he was abusing drugs. And he passes away at 22. I mean, he's very young. You understand? I mean, Avicii as well at 28 passes away because, guess what? Or else he's drinking alcohol while he's doing his passions. And IO as well is somebody that's drinking alcohol and doing drugs while he's doing his passion. But that's never the way. You have to understand. I respect them. I love them. I love their music. I love their talent. I love Z's body. I love how he looks. But guess what? I understand that it's a life where you need to go and develop yourself. You have to understand. You have to be better than yesterday. I understand. I'm better than yesterday. Or am I better than them? I'm probably sure I'm never better than them. I'm never better than them. I mean, understand? I'm better than I. I'm better than who I am. I never seek to compete with other people. You understand? I'm just overall better. I mean, understand? I'm always better than yesterday. I'm just better than who I am. You understand? You have to be better than who you are. But understand every single day, you have to focus on something more. You understand? You have to focus on making sure that you can lead people. I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm in Port Stephens. I mean, guess what? Port Stephens is excellent. I have to understand that it's an amazing scenery around here. I promise you. Excellent. But guess what? I promise you, I live here. I promise you, I see people getting these $3 million houses. And they're so small, these houses. I mean, $5 million. I mean, in Port Stephens. I mean, big deal. I mean, big deal. I mean, a $5 million house in Alice Springs, man. I mean, Alice Springs, I mean, what are you going to do there? Like, I mean, you understand? I mean, $5 million house, man. I mean, $5 million in Alice Springs. I mean, the center of Australia, man. I mean, understand? I mean, come on. I mean, what's up, man? I mean, go live life a bit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, guess what? Or is they pricing real estate too much in life? You know what I'm saying? I mean, guess what? I realize it's never worth. I'd rather travel $5 million everywhere around the world. I realize now every single day, focus on understanding that I calculate my money this way. I understand that today I get $450 to have an Uber driver with me. But if I do that every single day and I give $450 to have an Uber driver with me all the time for the next 72 years. I mean, why is it the next 72 years? Because I live until 100 at this calculation. I mean, I only calculate until 100 and then I calculate from 110 to 100. I mean, then calculate from 100 to 110 and then 120. You understand? So what happens here is I calculate into 100. So what happens is 450 times 365 times 72 years is $11 million I have to give to go around the world with an Uber driver. You understand? I mean, that's just a number, isn't it? But it's somewhere, I mean, it's a start, isn't it? I mean, it's a start. Or as once I reach $11 million, I say, bingo. I mean, get the Uber driver everywhere. And there's that. I mean, for the rest of my life. Understand? But let's say I turn 29. I mean, guess what? Whereas now it's going to be 71 instead of 72. Whereas now when I turn 30, or it's going to be 70 years times 365 times 450. I understand? So what happens over time is that number becomes lower and lower and lower for me to achieve. You understand? So when I turn 80 years of age, whereas when I turn 80 years of age, I calculate right now. I'll show you. I'll calculate right now how much money do I have to have at 80 years of age to have an Uber driver all the time. I'll show you over this. So 20 years of age, I mean, from 80 to 100, I say 20 times 450 times 365. I mean, that's $3 million. I mean, so the value went down. I mean, why did the value come down? Because from 80 years of age, I just have to have $3.2 million to be able to drive with an Uber everywhere for 20 years. You understand? Because right now it's 11 million. I mean, why? Because I'm 28. But at 80 years of age, I can go around the world at 80 years of age and always have an Uber driver with me, carry me everywhere. You understand? So when I turn 90 years of age, or else it's a 10-year calculation. You understand? So from 10 years, or else 10 times 365 times 450, or else at 90 years of age, or else the Uber driver I have to have $1.6 million in my bank account to be able to just give the Uber driver $450 every single day to drive me around the world. You understand? Or that's that? Or that's just Uber driver calculate. Or that's just an Uber driver. You understand? Or now the flights and everything is different. Or although it's somewhere, it's a start, isn't it? I mean, do you see my calculation here? Because everything goes over 100. You understand? Whereas now, you must understand that my food for the next 72 years is $400,000. And that's it. I mean, why? Because I calculate over 700. I mean, I calculate everything over 72 years. You understand? So what happens is, $15 a day. I say $15 a day times 365 times 72 is 394,000. But let's say at 80 years of age, or how much is my food from 80 years of age to 100? So I calculate by 20 years here, because there's 20 years from 80 years of age to reach 100. So 20 times $15, or I maximum $15 a day, or as now times 365, or as that's 109,000 bucks. Or as when I turn 80, or as I just have to have 109,000 bucks in my pocket for the next 20 years to have food and drink. I mean, right now it's 400,000, but at 80 years of age, it's going to be 109,000. Understand? So that's how you calculate that. Whereas now, whatever age you are, you must be able to calculate everything over time. So why do I stay away from Spotify? I mean, I'll show you why. Whereas now, Spotify is right now, I mean, let's say $15 a month. Or else $15 a month times 365. I mean, $15 a month times 12, which is 12 months has 1 year. So $15 times 12 times 72. Whereas now Spotify is $12,960 over time. Right now, from 28 to, from now in terms of 28 until 100, I save $30,000 right now by just never having Spotify. I mean, that's it. I just never have Spotify for the next 72 years, and I'll save $30,000. But if you're 38, of course, 38 minus 100, you have to calculate by 62, because then in 62 years you'll be 100. Or else if you're 30 years of age, you calculate by 70 years. I'm 28, so I calculate by 72 years. You understand? So those are the numbers there But why is it just that number? Or is that now? I'm a music producer as well. So everybody's posting music online and into Spotify. You understand? So what happens is I calculate this way. I was now SoundCloud as well. I mean, if you're a music producer, or as music producers want to put on Twitch, or as they want to put on SoundCloud, or as they want to put on Spotify, or as they want to put on all these subscription websites. You understand? So that's $30 a month, because SoundCloud is also $15. So that's 30 times 365 times 70 to, or else 30 times 12 times 72. I apologize. I say 30 times 12. I say times 72. I say $25,000 now, because I just get away from SoundCloud and Spotify with the subscription plan alone. I mean, now to add music is another deal. Alright, now to add music, I have to give $25 per track. You understand? Alright, now $25 per track every year. Alright, now every single year I make 40 tracks. I make 40 tracks and more. I mean, now per track it's $25 to put on Spotify. I mean, for every one track that you make, it's $25. I mean, you understand? You have to give to Spotify to have it on their system every year. So 40 tracks a year. So you have to understand now, 40 tracks a year. I mean, how much is just, I mean, let's just calculate 40 tracks times 25 times 72. I mean, for every 40 tracks that I make, I save $72,000. Understand? I mean, guess what? Now, what happens with Spotify? Now, let's just say I make a nice Billboard track. I mean, everybody wants to be famous, don't they? Or they want fame. You understand? And what do? I mean, they put on Spotify, and nobody watches them. I mean, nobody watches them for 10 years. So guess what happens? You save $10,000 already in the first 10 years, because nobody's watching you in the first 10 years of your first track. I mean, so what happens is you save $10,000 right away. But what happens is, now 40 tracks. I mean, that's just 1 year's worth. I mean, for every single year of my life, I save $72,000. But then I times this by 72, I save $5.1 million. Just by never putting my tracks onto Spotify, I save $5.1 million. You understand? Because I make 40 tracks. I make 40 tracks per year. I mean, now, guess what? Whereas now, you're a music producer. You make one track. You want to put on Spotify, for example. I mean, they'll charge you $25 to have your track on their platform every year, $25 for one track. I mean, if you make 100 tracks, and you put it online into the nice, beautiful Spotify, I mean, right away, 100 times 25. I mean, that's $2,005. I mean, that's $2,500 per year. So let's just say that you're 30 years of age. I mean, let's just say you want to live up to 100, for example. And let's just times it by 70. I mean, that's already $175,000 per year. Understand? I mean, now it's $175,000 altogether per year. So what happens is you times that by 72, because you make 100 tracks per year. I mean, you're saving $12.6 million. I understand, because why do you want to put your track into Spotify every year to give them $25 to keep your content up online? I mean, guess what? Or is that if you have 10 tracks, I mean, every single year you have to give them $250 to just keep it up online with them. And what for? I mean, understand? I mean, if I give you, for example, my track, you're asking me to give you $25 every year to keep one music track online with your website. So I give you $25 now, but then 1 year comes along, and I have to give you another $25 to keep that music track online with you. I mean, I have to do that 72 times and get lost. I understand? So I save $5.1 million with these idiots. You understand? So every single day, I focus on understanding I never need Spotify, man. You understand? I mean, $5.1 million, I can give that money. But guess what? I do it for free. I mean, don't you want to save $5.1 million? And why would you give $5.1 million when you can have that money for yourself to create business seminars and world events around yourself? I mean, imagine what you can do with $5.1 million. I mean, what would you do with $5.1 million? And now, guess what? As myself right now, with $5.1 million, I make events right away. I make events right away. I mean, I go making events everywhere. I say, hey, I have money. I'll go here, here, and here. I say, hey, I give you some money. I'll come to a free event so I can boost my popularity. I'll go use that money to boost my popularity while I travel the world, and that's it. Understand? So every single day, I understand it's more about communicational work than anything else. I focus upon understanding. I've been sitting here for 2 hours and 10 minutes. Or else I'm never showing you sympathy here. I'm being honest. Understand? Approach, when you're honest with people, you're never showing in sympathy for anything that they have. Approach, now, when somebody asks you for anything, you have to be able to give something. But when they ask you to give them $2 or something, you give them a business card. You give something, you understand? Because what happens is, if somebody says this is how much it is, you have to fulfill it. You have to ask them, you have to give what they want for you to have what you want. You understand? Actually, now, if they say it's $10,000 to videotape you for 1 minute, you give them $10,000 to videotape you for 1 minute. You understand? I mean, you're worth it. You understand? You're worth it. I mean, isn't that simple? Actually, now, if you have the $10,000 to give them, you give them. You understand? Actually, now, if you don't have the $10,000 to give them, you have to find a way to give them. I mean, is it that simple? Actually, it's that simple. Actually, although I love I every single day, so I focus upon making sure they understand that no matter what I'm doing, I have to be focusing upon different areas of persuasion and techniques and being able to live my life in the moment in different ways. But I'm making sure that I'm boosting my vocabulary every single day. I'm making sure every single day that I tune out from the world sometimes. And now I understand the way that now I have the opportunity to do so. And because I'm in Port Stephens over here, in a nice beautiful bungalow backpackers, which is a samurai one, although understand either way, I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying my video. I'm enjoying my nice beautiful prosperity here. I'm enjoying the nice beautiful coaching skill I'm giving you, which is making sure I'm persuading you to live your life better. I'm inspiring you in some level or shape or form to make sure you understand that if you want to get to my level of communication, you have to write, you have to audio, you have to video. You understand? You have to be able to have a blog. You have to understand my blog is my phone. Whereas my blog is my journal. I have no stupid WordPress. You understand? I promise you, WordPress is a website that helps people. I help people. I'm not stupid. But guess what? I'm just honest about that. I have a better WordPress. I have a PDF file where I go and type in it and I post it up online. I never need a website. I never need to do coding online to do my website. You understand? Which they go through all these systems and linking modules and going to these websites. And then guess what happened? Guess what happened? The website lags. I mean, Grant Cardone has a professional website. This guy has a professional website. I approach that website is $10,000 a year. I approach he gives $10,000 a year to just hold that website. You know what I'm saying? Approach it's never his website, but somebody's doing it for him. And now he's giving the website developer $10,000 a year. I promise you. I promise you all day. Guess what? Now, what you need to understand is every single day, you never need a website like Grant Cardone. You need to understand to go to the website that's for free. I mean, what's a free website that you can start now? And do it, because as soon as you're doing your work every single day and you're loving it, probably it's much more worth it than giving somebody $10,000 to do your work. You understand? So, find a better price. I mean, go the free way. I mean, understand that just because he has $1 billion and a jet and 8,000 units, I realize it never makes him better than Jesus Christ. I mean, come on. I mean, every single day, focus upon understanding that he's just better than himself. Understand? You must be better than yourself. I'm better than myself. I mean, where's my jet? I mean, where's my real estate? I mean, where's my woman? I'm better than his estate too. You understand? So what's the difference? Or else the difference is equal. I mean, everything's equal. I mean, if you believe you're better than me and you step on me because you're better than yesterday, I mean, what does that make you? I mean, understand? I mean, do you call yourself rich for stepping on me? I mean, why? I mean, you can never step on me. You understand? I never step on you. You understand? So realize that when people want your plastic money, or they want to step on you. I mean, Grant Cardone and JT Fox and all these individuals like Tony Robbins and Gary Vaynerchuk, you understand Gary Vaynerchuk does it for free. For sure, everybody else. I mean, understand? I mean, they do it for plastic money. Because it's never about plastic money, man. It's never about plastic money. Jesus Christ never wants to charge you. At all. I mean, focus upon that road. I mean, never be charging people for anything. I mean, understand? You'll find a way to live your life. You have plastic money to live your life. I mean, focus upon making sure that you understand that whatever you want, you can achieve it with better communicational skills, and understand that's the best way. I'm rushing now. People cause scarcity around plastic money, or as they believe they're going to end up homeless on the street or something. And now you're never going to be homeless on the street, but understand you do have real estate today. And now because you do have real estate, unfortunately Jesus Christ says over here, you have to understand that Jesus Christ never wants to accumulate real estate. I mean Jesus Christ makes sure that you understand that you can never own real estate. Or now you can make plastic money on real estate, but making plastic money is never the result. Or making plastic money is never the result. But what the result is, I understand, is giving information, like Jesus Christ. And now when you're giving information, I mean, that's your real estate. I mean, the information that you give is your real estate. I mean, understand? You create real estate through giving information. I mean, you understand? Oh, I understand the way I get so fatigued. I have fatigue today because I've been walking today to all these places for about 5 hours. So I have fatigue. I've seen 20 beaches today. So every single day, I make sure you understand 20 beaches. I mean, when's the last time you've seen 20 beaches in your life? In 5 hours. I mean, you have to understand me. You have to understand, I went to all these places today in Port Stephens. I mean, go and check out Port Stephens in the Google Maps or your map in terms of the GPS, and check out Australia, Port Stephens, and check out all the water there. I went to see everything. I went to see all of that. Understand? I mean, understand, I've seen Newcastle water as well. I understand, so every single day, I'm just focusing on delivering a better content. But if you come to that area, I mean, give an Uber driver $450 and just get around in 5 hours. You understand? And I still have to go horse riding. I still have to see the camels. I seen the camels today, which is at the Anna Bay. But I understand either way, I have to go sand dunes, I have to go ride the skateboard, or I have to do a snowboard over there, and I have to go ride the camel. I want to ride a camel. I want to ride a horse. I want to just do that, and I want to just do some aspects of activity where I can go and just live. I mean, in a sense. So what's amazing is I understand every single day that when you accomplish your goals, you just leave. Well, as long as you have a goal in this lifetime, you have to achieve it before you die. You understand? You have to achieve all of your goals before you die. But never be the smoker anymore. I mean, never be a smoker in the first place. I mean, never be a drug addict. I mean, never be an alcohol addict. I mean, never be a caffeine addict. I mean, never be a meat eater all your life. I mean, try something new. I mean, if you're eating meat, I mean, try to eat vegan food only. I mean, you understand? And now to do that, you have to remove the meat altogether. You have to remove those restaurants. You have to remove some other aspects. You have to go from beef into pork sometimes. And then from pork into fish. And eat fish. And then from fish into cheese, for example. And just dairy products. And then from milk into cheese. And then from cheese into peanuts. You understand? I mean, go and substitute beef to eat pork. And then pork to eat fish. And then forget the beef and beef. Forget the beef and pork. Because you change it over into fish, for example. And instead of you having beef and pork, you're just going to have fish instead. You understand? Whereas now, instead of you having steak, you're going to have peanuts instead. I mean, substitute all this food for other foods and forget the other foods. And that's how you transition into a vegan. You understand? So every single day, I went from McDonald's into Subway. I went from Subway into potato. You understand? I went from the nice beautiful salt into Vegeta. You understand? I mean Vegeta only. And now all the salts out there, I'm just going to get Vegeta instead. Because Vegeta is everything I need. You understand? Although guess what? Everything I need is just the word I. And now I understand either way that from milk, I just went to soy milk. I mean, there's oat milk, or there's almond milk. I mean, there's rice milk, or there's dairy milk, or there's soy milk. And there's all these milks. I just went to soy milk. I mean, is that simple? I just stick to one. And now in one soy milk brand, or there's 11 brands, or there's 11 brands and more in Australia that you can find with soy milk brands. I grab all 11. I grab all of them. I mean, every shopping, I grab all of them. I mean, why do I do that? I grab one each, so I can have different tastes. You understand? And then guess what? I mean, every single day I'm focusing upon doing something that's going to help me. So when I do that, I focus upon giving you information. I give you information of all kinds, but when you're teaching people all of these aspects of life, you're focusing upon ideas. And when you're focusing upon ideas, you're coaching people to understand something about life. And that's the whole point. You have to have that great attitude. The attitude comes first. And now when you're understanding how to teach, it becomes easy. It's very effective to be able to teach people like I do. You have to be understanding. I have high grace. I have high integrity. I have high vigor to love my life and to give it to you in a way that I only can. I rush you although every single day. Anybody can do what I do, but you have to do it your way. You can never do it my way. You can never live life like I have. You understand? I love my life. You must love your life. I rush although I've made mistakes. I was a smoker. I was a drug addict. I was an alcohol fanatic. You understand? I was just all over the place. I was heading to prison very soon. You understand? Because of the people around me. I mean, all fake people. I mean, you have to understand, I've been yawning in this video for 5 times now. But I understand either way, I have to. I have to understand every single day. I love my life. I love to coach people. I understand when I coach people, I go and really dwell upon my ideas. I give you what I need. I give you how I can. I understand what I can do. I understand how I can love. I understand what's important. I understand it's never the plastic money. I promise you, plastic money is a delusion. You understand? I promise you, what is the best plastic money in the world? I promise you, it's giving of information. I promise you, when you're giving information, you shall have plastic money. I promise you, you'll find a way to have it in a better way. You understand? Because it's never the 9 to 5 that makes you have the plastic money. I promise you, it's never the real estate that gets you the plastic money. I promise you, it's the information you're giving. I promise you, I said already, I promise you, what would you rather have? I mean, would you rather have 1,000 billion units of real estate, or would you have 1,000 billion friends? I mean, what's more important to you? I mean, would you rather have 1,000 billion girlfriends, or boyfriends, or people in your life who are going to help you, or would you have? Or would you rather have $1 billion in terms of $100,000 billion and real estates? You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, choose to have friends and people in your life rather than the stupid plastic money, because it's much better for you to understand, Brush, it's much better for you to understand that when you're really living and you're helping people, Brush, you have to value people more than real estate. You have to value people more than plastic money. You understand? But people today value plastic money more than people. Brush, people today value real estate more than people. Brush, they go to a seminar and they say $3,000 to have me as a coach. Brush, why? Because they value plastic money more than you. You understand? I mean, am I asking you for anything? I'm never asking you for anything. I am never even asking you to watch my video. I'm just asking of myself to give you this. You understand? I'm watching now. Whoever's watching me is watching me because you heard about me somewhere. You understand? But what's amazing is I never ever call you to me. You just come to me. You understand? I'm just here to deliver information, and that's why you're here. You have to understand every single day it's because of my success. I have success. I have a lot of success. I mean, what's amazing about my life is I'm so confident that now I can just speak in front of people. I can do whatever I want because I'm so powerful. And how? Because I have the communicational method to be able to do it. It's the power. It's powerful to be able to stand in front of anybody and speak. You understand? I mean, who do you want? I mean, you can get any woman, you can get any man, you can get whatever you want, but you will understand that the mature you are and the more smarter you are, the less you'll chase people. I mean, the more smart you are, the more you'll be alone in life. I promise you, throughout your life, you're going to be alone. I promise you. And what's going to happen is people are going to pass away in your life. And then when people are passing away, I promise you, when people in your life are passing away, you're going to be left alone. I promise you, it's going to be you only. You understand? I promise you, eventually, it's just going to be you, and you're going to understand life. You're going to ask yourself this question right now. How can I live alone right now? So I never have to live alone in 50 years' time. You understand? Because by the time 50 years happens, I promise you, you have 50 years experience on how to live alone. So what happens at 70 years of age is when it finally happens, when you be alone, you're going to say, hey, I was alone all my life. I was alone from the age of 30, and guess what? I can live now alone. I have no worries of being 70 and being alone now. I understand my parents have passed, or I understand my parents have gone away from this world. I understand my kids have gone away from this world. I understand my wife's gone away from this world. I understand my crowd that I grew up with has all left me. I'm 150 years of age. I mean, you understand? I mean, you're the only one left. I mean, you're going to be alone. You understand? I mean, come on. I mean, that's a great achievement. You understand? So what you do is realize you have to achieve that. You have to achieve that goal of being more than yourself. And then focus upon understanding that you're just going to give your content again and again and relax. You're going to find your way. You understand? You're going to find your way, but realize I need you to be smarter. I need you to do less physical walking over time. I mean, less physical walking over time and more spiritual talking like this. I mean, this is spiritual talking. And now I'm a teacher at 28. I'm a teacher at 28. I start this information that I'm speaking about now at 25. I've been doing it for 3 years. You understand? So this is 3 years into it. I have 3 years into my nice, beautiful career. I have 160 hours of public speaking in front of a crowd. I have over 32,000 quotes. I have over 3 years of journaling, and I have over 700 hours of videos. You understand? So how much can you do in 3 years? I mean, that's all I can do in terms of what I've already done, but I can do more than this. I can always do more. I'm pretty sure that you have to talk yourself up. You have to be so confident in yourself that you can deliver what you want. Or if you want to communicate it, you can do it. You want to achieve it, you can do it. You have to communicate it. You have to be able to understand yourself daily. You have to be talking to yourself all day long. I understand right now, I start this nice beautiful program at 9 o'clock, but I already see it's 12 o'clock right now. In a sense, so how does that count? I'm pretty sure it's around 9:30 I start this video. I'm pretty sure although this is the time, this is the real time of this video. I'm pretty sure although just 2 hours and 28 minutes ago I start this video, but it's 12 o'clock right now. I mean, I'm telling the truth. So guess what? I was at 9:30 I start this video. I did start. I mean, every single day, focus upon understanding. You lift. You have to lift. You gotta lift. And you understand, Sharon Knoll? I see, and sometimes I see that's just how it is. You have to be stronger. You have to be stronger than this. You understand? You have to lift yourself. You have to understand every single day. You have to focus upon how are you going to lift people. And when you lift people, you're going to find ideas. You're going to find better ways. You're going to do your work. You're going to be dedicating yourself. You're going to be understanding that there's a better life for you. Every single day, you're going to understand that you have to be more mature. You have to understand you have to be smarter than the world around you. You have to understand that people want you to die. I mean, people want you to kill yourself. I mean, people want you to go down. I never want you to go down. I want you to lift. I want you to forget those people who hate you. I want you to understand that if they're never causing you violence, or else they love you. I'm not sure that it seems like they want to kill you, or else it seems like they hate you, or else it seems like they just never love you. I understand that. I feel the same way. I mean, these women that are so sexy never want to message me, or else they want to message some other guy. You understand? But are they really sexy to me now? Or are they never sexy to me when they never messaging me? You understand? Never fool yourself around trying to be with women or men that never want to be with you. I mean, you're better than that. I mean, she's holding an alcohol drink in a Facebook photo and you believe that's attractive? I mean, come on, man. I mean, he is a drug addict and you believe he's attractive? I mean, come on, woman. You understand? I mean, what's so good about his gut? I mean, come on. I mean, what's so good about him? I mean, the guy never cuts his toenails. I mean, what's so good about him? I mean, come on. You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, focus upon understanding. Every single day, I cut my nails, man. Every single day, cut them. Every single day, I go, boop, boop. I feel this. I say, where is it rough? I clip this one here. I mean, this one's good. I realize this one, or this one here. I did, boop. I clip this one too. I mean, this one's good. Or I clip this one too. I mean, I just clipped 3 nails over here. I mean, over here, I say that's one good. I feel it too. I feel it. I see that's good. I see that's good. I see this one. Boop. I click this one here, and I clip 2 there. But then guess what I do? I get the other one. I get the surfacer. I start surfacing my nails like this. I start surfacing where I clip my nails as well. I do a little pedicure like this each and every single day. I mean, every single day. And then I do my toes too. I do it every single day though. I mean, other guys do it every single month. I mean, their nails get this long, man. You understand? I mean, every single day, clip your nails. I mean, look at my nails. I mean, they're clean, man. I mean, I feel nice. I feel beautiful. When somebody sees my nails, it's all clean all the time. I mean, pink nails. You understand? I feel clean. You understand? I brush my teeth once a day. I mean, now do I floss my teeth? I never floss my teeth. I never need to floss my teeth. Whereas my teeth never needs to floss their teeth. You understand? I never need to floss my teeth. Whereas now I have a toothbrush that flosses everything for myself and I. You understand? Because I understand every single day your teeth are going to fall off eventually. You understand? You're going to get new teeth anyway. I mean, what? I mean, no matter how much times you floss, your teeth are going to fall off. I mean, what? I mean, guess what? I mean, brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. But flossing, I mean, guess what? I mean, you save 10 minutes of your life every day. You save 10 minutes of your life flossing every day. I mean, 10 minutes is much more important of your life where you can go coach people, or then you can go and coach people for 10 minutes rather than flossing your teeth. I mean, just exchange the service and do something else. You understand? I mean, guess what? You get some tissue paper, you go like this around the edges of your teeth here and just relax. You understand? I mean, forget about it. In a sense, so every single day, focus upon understanding. I mean, save your time. I understand either way. Your teeth, you can go and grab it at Thailand. You can go and grab it in Serbia. You can grab it in Croatia. I mean, go to another country and give them money. And it's going to be less expensive. But go for more affordable. I mean, where's the more affordable countries that can do your teeth? I mean, you never have to do your teeth in Australia. I mean, in Australia, one tooth is 2,000 Australian dollars. I mean, you have 50 teeth. I mean, guess what? I mean, how much teeth do you have? I mean, guess what? You have to understand that you can save $100,000 just by going to another country to get your teeth done. I mean, understand? I mean, braces. I mean, never wear braces. I mean, never give them $10,000 to have braces. I mean, what for? Your teeth are gonna fall off anyway. Your teeth are gonna fall off anyway. I mean, what? I mean, what's the deal with 2 years of wearing braces, man? I mean, what for? I mean, you wear it 2 years, and after 15 years, one tooth falls off. And what's the point of that? I mean, I mean, then the next year, 2 teeth fall off. I mean, yeah, you wore braces for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I mean, guess what? I mean, forget about it. You go to some other country, and if you need braces, and you want to get braces, I mean, get in another country where it's more affordable first. Never get loan payments from the bank to try to get your braces done. I mean, never try to give $50 a month to have braces. I mean, never do it, because you're going to get stuck into a 9-to-5 job. You have to understand that, I mean, forget the loans from the banks. I mean, never try to do anything with loans. I mean, never try to do that. You understand? Because that is a trap. I mean, try to never have a loan from the phone bank. You understand? Or as they just want to sell you a plan all the time. Or as never be on a plan. I mean, make your own plan, but never be on other people's plans. Because their plans is something that's going to help you commit suicide. You understand? And now, guess what? I never want you to commit suicide. I need you to understand, I was on a phone plan for 2 years. I had an iPhone, and then guess what happened? I had to be giving the money for an iPhone for 1 year for a phone that I no longer have. You understand? Although I have a phone, or else I was giving that money for a certain period of time where I had no choice but to give it. You understand? I had no choice, or else they're running after me. Or else, I mean, who's running after me? I mean, the government. And the government's running after me. You understand? I mean, why? To give them plastic money that they print for free. I mean, they print money, and they're chasing me for money. You understand? I mean, it's a scam altogether. I mean, focus upon understanding that you go and focus upon being $0 in debt. I have no debt today. I never had debt. I've given everything of my life. I mean, anything that you have debt with, you just say you have no debt anymore, because you're giving information now. You can give your story, you can give everything. You have to understand, every single day, there's no such thing as debt. You understand? I mean, forget what they say with real estate and that you have to go into debt. You never go into debt. I mean, you're never going into debt in the first place. I mean, there's no chance that you can go into debt. I mean, they're the ones that go into debt. Or as the rich people, they are the ones saying that they go into debt to get the plastic money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you are the rich man or woman who never goes into debt. You just grab the plastic money. You know what I'm saying? Rosh, that's it. Rosh, now how? Rosh, you give information. You give information, you'll find how. You understand? You'll find a way. I promise you. I promise you it's more that you understand I had to yawn just then, but I held it back. I understand either way, never hold your yawn back, because it's nice and beautiful to yawn. I promise you. So every single day, understand that I feel fatigue right now. And because I feel fatigue, I want to complete my 3 hours over here. I understand every single day, I focus upon understanding that there's always more to deliver. So when you're delivering more, you're going to focus upon something that you love to do. And that way you're going to focus upon ideas. You're going to look in the background. You're going to understand there's a beautiful scenery. I see it. I rush every single day. You have to understand that I just see a nice beautiful epiphany over here. You see this nice beautiful bedroom here? I seen that. I was looking at the camera. I'm still looking at the camera now. But guess what? I understand it looks like a horizon to me. I mean, it looks like this massive ocean behind me. I mean, it's just amazing, isn't it? Rush every single day, I understand that's just fading away somewhere into a distant melody of something greater. I feel much greater. I feel much more alive. I feel like I have so much more potential that I can give you. But I understand I have to do my life every single day in a better way. And that way I'm planning my life. I've been planning my life for 2 hours and 40 minutes. So guess what? I understand where I'm coming from now in a better direction. I can see that for the past 2 hours and 40 minutes, I've never spoken like this before. I mean, that's a good sign. I can see it, because if you're speaking the same way all the time, I mean, how do you expect to get results when you're doing the same thing over and over? So I'm doing something different today. I'm speaking in a different way. I'm speaking in a different direction today. I'm speaking in a different way. I'm doing stuff differently. I'm giving different ideas. And life is moving forward because I'm doing it differently. I mean, because if you're doing it the same way, I mean, how is life going to move forward the same way? Fortunately, now, life can move forward the same way though. Fortunately, now, I understand the power of contradiction here. And now the power of contradiction, unfortunately, the power of contradiction says that if you contradict what you say, you're going to grow. But what's amazing is I use the word I here all the time. I mean, do you understand? So every single day, I mean, that's the same, isn't it? I've yawned. I've been yawning 5 times now. I mean, it's the same, but I'm repeating it differently. And now, the amazing thing is, never just do it the same. I realize if you're just doing it the same, or there's no growth there. You understand? But if you're doing it differently, whereas now, you're going to add the same way differently. And now it's going to be the same way, but it's also going to be different. You understand? But if you're just doing the same way, whereas you have to go different. You have to go the different road. Understand that there's always a path in your life right now that you can go in right now that has everything you ever want in information. I mean, what area of life is that? That's your passion. Your passion is that idea that is struck into your head right now. There's one idea in your head right now that you can pick up all this information to help your life. I mean, where is it? You go there. You go there and you stick to it forever. Understand? Because information is limiting. Understand? I'm pretty sure there's so much information to dig into that if you just dig into that information daily, you be so successful in what you want to do. I promise you, the more you dig into information, the more the information bounces at you to give it. Understand? I promise you. Now, if you understand this is the information that I read, but let's just say I have to go push like this into the reading mode. I push, and then the information goes, I mean, it pushes me like this and says, hey, I have to go this way. I start, you guys understand me? I start speaking to 10,000 people because that's what the information tells me. You understand? I mean, look at Jesus. I mean, what's Jesus telling you today in terms of him going around speaking to people? I mean, doesn't that tell you something? I mean, does that tell you something in life? I mean, it tells you something about life, or as it says, go and do the same thing. I understand, because Jesus is somebody that you can trust, because Jesus never hurts anybody. But when you're really, really understanding Jesus Christ, whereas now you can understand how to live life. I understand that personally. So every single day I follow Jesus Christ, I follow the commandments, I follow everything in the Bible, and then I understand I have a better life, but I'm alone. Or there's no wife, or there's no girlfriend, or there's no kids. I mean, you understand, I have 20 years before that. Or I have plenty of time, but guess what? Or some idiots from the past, I was like, guess what happens? Or now, I understand that they are just people who are unaware. But guess what? I understand I'm just smarter than them. And because I'm smarter, I understand I help them. I give them so much content, I give them so much persuasion techniques and everything in terms of fulfillment in my ideas, and they just never appreciate me. I can call them idiots. I can call everybody around me idiots, because guess what happens? I give them information to help them. I give them so much information to help them, so I mean the best for them. I call them an idiot because I love them. I understand. I call them an idiot and whatever I want to call them, but I give them information anyway for free. I understand, because I understand that they're just idiots, you know what I'm saying? So what do I do with idiots? I teach them how to live a life. In a sense, so every single day, that if you understand I live 28 years of my life, I can teach you something about my life. I mean, what are you going to say about that? You have lived 60 years. I appreciate it. If you've been living 60 years, I have to find out about you. I have to find out about you really quickly right now. I appreciate all day. I appreciate if you're 60 today. I can only recognize Grant Cardone and Robert Kiyosaki and Tony Robbins right now. I mean, who are you, man? I mean, where are you? I mean, I sense so focus upon understanding. I mean, who's at this level of age at 60 years of age? I mean, at 70 years of age, I can see Sylvester Stallone. I can see Arnold Schwarzenegger and Robert Kiyosaki. You know what I'm saying? There's only a few people that can teach you something in terms of at the top. I mean, guess what? I mean, everybody can teach you something. Everybody can teach you something, but there's few of them who have, let's say, personal fame and success much more than other people. You know what I'm saying? Now, In terms of I have more success than all of them. You know what I'm saying? I have more success than everybody. I'm pretty sure that's how I see myself. I'm pretty sure that every single day I focus on understanding that I'm just competing with I, which I'm not competing with anybody else. I'm pretty sure that that's the only difference. The only difference is if you communicate daily with yourself into greatness and you focus upon understanding how to be integrity daily, you're going to give all those ideas really quickly. And then what happens is you're going to focus upon understanding opportunity, and opportunity opens doors. You understand? So when you're opening doors, you're going to find better ways. You're going to see better ways. You're going to find a better way to deal with life. And then that's the whole point. The whole point is just understand that this is just skin. It's just a face. I mean, look at my words. My words. My words are something. I mean, do you understand my words? I mean, forget my looks. Forget my looks, man. I look better than this. My words. Look at my words. You understand? My words will help you. My words are here to stay. You understand? You don't have to look at my face. Look at my tone. My tone's unlimited. My tone is limitless. You understand? This is an image of God. This is an image that will never hurt you. You understand? Guess what? Everybody has a unique image in life. You never find another face like this in your life. You understand? This is the only face you'll find about this one. You understand? Every single day, focus upon understanding you have a unique face. Everybody has a unique face, but if you want to be someone today, you have to give information. Do you understand me? I've been saying it all along in this video. What am I giving you today in this information? I've been giving you the information you need. I've been giving you information in this video. That's why I'm saying you have to give information when there's nothing else you need to do. Do you want to be able to stand up in front of a video like this and do it differently, and you want to be able to talk it out? I promise you, it's the height of your career. It's the height of your explanation of life. I have a nice, beautiful souvenir today. I actually went to Port Stephens and I found a love heart on the floor, and it's the 14th of February. It's Valentine's Day today. So guess what? I found a heart on the floor somewhere. Now, it means a good luck charm that somebody may come into my life. But that somebody is I today. You understand? So I realized that no matter what, that it's just good luck. I on Valentine's Day, find a love heart on the floor traveling somewhere. I pick it up, you understand? I pick it up because I understand it's something of value. I have a heart today. I have a heart. I pick up my heart. You understand? I pick up my heart and I just really understand something about my life. I understand I am something more than this life. I'm something more, but I understand either way, happy Valentine's, guys. I'm saying it's Valentine's Day, or is that since it's Valentine's Day, I have everything in my heart right now. I'm just always leading life, and I'm doing much greater than yesterday. I understand every single day that it's just plastic. It's just glitter with a heart. Either way, you must understand that it's rare that you go and find a heart that has glitter on it, such as I've shown you. And so I did drop that one on the floor, but guess what? I appreciate it still. I still appreciate it. I love my face more than that stupid heart. You understand? I love myself more than everything. So I understand it every single day. I have a nice beautiful hat over here. You guys may have seen it. Or as although it suits me, doesn't it? Or as every single day, I look classical. I look like a nice beautiful man. I'm better than a champagne bottle. I'm better than all these drugs that you ever see in life. And so I'm always looking to understand that if you want to drive, I see many individuals want a dry fit hat, man. They want a dry fit, man. They want TNs, man. You understand? Or they want to look light skin, man. Or they want to wear the bin, or they want to get the bum bag, man. Or they want the cigarettes in the bum bag too, man. They want some extra pills somewhere, or they want to put it in their pants as well, you understand? Or they want to call a drug dealer, bro. You understand? Guess what? I understand you people, man. I understand. I was there. I've been there, you understand? But be careful. Be careful, because it catches up with you really quickly. And the more you do that, or the more dangerous you get. You may start off as innocent and that you're just playing around at first, but then it gets serious. It gets really quick. Really quickly, those people that you are hanging around with will never be there for you. They never want to be seen around you with the police. I promise you. If they're drug addicts and they're dealers and they're drug dealers, I promise you, they never want to be around you when the police is around you. I promise you. Because the police will suss them out. I promise you. So every single day, I promise you, they run away. I promise you. I promise you now, when I went to jail, I promise you, when I was in jail before, I promise you now, I went to jail because I hit a woman accidentally. And what happens is, I went to jail, and guess what? Nobody was there for me. Nobody was there for me. I had to be there for 12 hours in the jail. So, I mean, guess what? I went naked. I was actually nude in the jail. You understand? Because they grab off my clothes. I brush it every single day. You have to understand, every single day I'm always focusing upon something better. You understand? So I'm focusing upon loving my life and living better. Now, when you live better, you understand every single day. You tell the truth. I brush every single day. I went into the jail as well, and guess what happens? I took off all my clothes over there as well. Understand? So I understand. I never lie. I'm always understanding. There's always much more that I can do, but I'm always living that nice, beautiful lifestyle. I'm living the lifestyle of something that I can say. Whereas it's that I love my life so much that I never lie. I never lie about anything. I never want to lie, but be honest about your life. And when you're honest, I understand every single day I focus upon building that communicational style. Whereas it's when you're building the communicational technique in your life to never lie, that's a great attitude. Because liars are thieves. They go behind your back and they cheat you out. And guess what? Or is a past tense theory. It's too past tense, you understand? So what happens with past tense people is they talk too much about the past. And what happened 10 years ago, or as they want to relive when they were 5 years old, or as they want to be when they were 1 year old, you understand? Because that's a better time for them. Or as they believe it's a better time back then when they were 7 years of age than 27. I mean, they hate life. I mean, they never want to be their age, or as they want to be younger, or as they want to be immature, or as they want to be somewhere in the past, or as they want to forget the world in the past, or as they never want to take action, or as they're very lazy. I mean, their mental health issues, you understand? And why is that? Because they're never planning their life, or as nobody's teaching them how to plan. I was the same this way. I was the same individual who was so lost of life. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to find my way back. I mean, understand? I mean, as soon as I started to read a bit, I started to dwell. I started to be much more interesting about curiousness and being curious about spirituality with Eckhart Tolle and The Power of Now. And I read it 9 times. I started to read these books online, or as one individual gave me this audible.com website, and I went on it, and I started to do audible.com in terms of life, and I started to give them $15 and $15 and $15 and $15 and $15. I gave $1,300 for self-educational books where I can go and read these books. I read over 700 books. Okay? I read over 700 books. I read over 3 months of my life in terms of physical reading. And either way, I realize now when you see 3 months of life and how much that is, I've read more than that, but 90 days times 24 are 2,160 hours of audible reading. I mean, now if you read 1 hour a day, you have to understand that 2,160 hours, whereas now, how much is that per year? Whereas now, that's 6 years of reading. You understand? I mean, 1 hour a day. I mean, 6 years of reading. I mean, you have to understand, I started to read all these books, and then guess what? Here I am now, doing 3-hour content. You understand? Because I'm just much more educating myself about the world around me now. I understand that I have many mentors teaching me about life, but guess what? I was that since YouTube and all that is gone now, because I understand I'm just tuning out now from YouTube. I choose this lifestyle. I choose to be in Port Stephens, to tune away from the Wi-Fi and all that. I choose. I have money to go and be wherever I want to be, in a sense. So I focus upon living my life. You understand? You guys can see how I have fatigue, but I'll continue, don't I? Understand? I say I want to finish my 3-hour video in the beginning of this video, and guess what? I'm here because I understand every single day. I understand I achieve my goals. I say my goals, and I say, hey, I do it. I do it now. You understand? I sit here for 3 hours. I talk to you. But is it worth it? I rush it's worth it. I rush every single day. Focus upon giving those ideas and inspiring people. I mean, do you understand? You have to inspire people. And I have a state of trance going on right now. I'm so much more than ever before. I have a beautiful track now. I have a psytrance track where I can go and relax. I mean, I can go and really, really produce music now. I mean, psytrance. I mean, come on. I mean, it's the newest techno today. I mean, you have to understand it's something beyond my dream. I understand? I mean, something that I've always been meaning to do in life, and it's great. One track that's just gonna rock. I mean, that's the one. I just did it. I understand? So, for example, when I came to Port Stephens, I say, finally I get here. I mean, you understand how it feels? I'm in relief. You know, I mean, I'm finally here. I mean, today I did 20 beaches, my first time ever. Finally. I mean, understand? I mean, it's a relief to be able to see 20 beaches in one day. Rush every single day. You focus upon understanding that now, since you have these nice, beautiful tools in your life, you're going to go into your life today, and you're going to find new ways and new tactics to live a life. You're going to find the best kind of ways to make sure that you can go and do what you need to do to make sure that you're living the best life, because what's happening every single day is understanding that you have to update people about your life and the world around you, and then understand every single day to coach people on how you're living your life so that people can go and learn about you and your life, and so that you can give your story, but also so that you can become more successful, because that's what I'm doing and that's what everybody else is doing. So I understand every single day that if you're giving your story, you shall succeed, and just focus upon your life every single day, and then give people words of encouragement here and there so that you can go and do what you want to do every single day in a blessing kind of way, because Jesus Christ wants you to look like Jesus Christ more so that you can go and have much more of a blessing in life. I understand every single day, be much more grateful about your life. I mean, recap about your life and just be honorable in a way that you're humble. You're understanding what humble is, which is you're understanding that humbleness and being humble, you're just making sure that everybody's equal with you, and just understanding that you're a spiritual being living in a human body. You understand? I mean, you're spiritual, and then understand you're going to go away from this world. You're going to meet me in eternity, and you're going to say, thank you, Danny. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Jesus Christ is thanking me. I'm thanking you. I'm thanking everybody. For sure, I'm thanking Jesus Christ. I'm for sure I act like a smart ass over here with Jesus Christ, but understand that I'm just doing my life. I understand it just came across like that. You understand? I mean, Jesus Christ came here to give me the Bible, but Jesus Christ is thanking me. You understand? I mean, yeah. I mean, guess what? I realize every single day. I realize that's the joke between me and Jesus Christ. You understand? I'm sure God's working for me. You understand? I'm sure I feel good about that. You know? I'm sure every single day. I understand every single day when I go and do something on the street or anywhere across the planet, I'm doing something that's really going to help me move forward. I mean, duh. I mean, that's it. I mean, go and do something that's going to help you move forward. Or that's that. Or every single day you focus upon making sure that you go and do something you've never done. I mean, go and practice something you never practiced before in terms of your life. And understand every single day, focus upon lifting people, and then understand to be on camera, and understand to give those words of encouragement daily, but just lift people daily and understand how to really lift people. I promise you. Now, when you're lifting people, you're going to search for those ideas. You're going to understand that you have to look inside. You have to understand that anything you ever want is in the communicational skill that you have. You know, if you learn to communicate better, like I have today, you have to understand that you're unstoppable. I promise you. Now, I can always communicate this way. I can communicate for the next 10 hours like this and more. I promise you, I understand that I can talk myself into 40 days with no sleep. I understand I can talk myself into it. I understand I can talk myself into doing what Jesus Christ has done. I can talk it. I mean, it's easy. You understand? You just communicate better. You understand? Because most people are so lazy to communicate, or they never want to communicate with anybody. Of course, that's depressing. Of course, that's antisocial club. But guess what? I mean, get away from antisocial club and those people who wear those shirts and stuff like that. So make sure you're understanding that you're much more nicer in your videos, because in my YouTube videos I put made for kids. You understand? And then all the kids can watch me as well. So I never want to put my videos over 18 years of age only. I realize I make everything watch me online. So focus upon understanding that YouTube and Instagram and all this marketing material in terms of online, pretty much it's working, but what's amazing is that I'm working. You understand? I'm working. Regardless of whether that is working or what. You understand? But every single day, what is amazing is everything works when you work. And then understand that you are just a sum up of all the information you have in life. So the more you give information, the more you succeed. And that's it. But every single day, focus upon a better life and understand that no matter what you're doing, succeed.